Hello everyone, my name is Ciara and welcome back to my channel, and please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I say it, then please do feel free to click off this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And so today marks the first of what will probably be many a collab video between me and my Pisces-Twin, who just launched her own YouTube channel, which is Gossamer Dreams. I'll have it linked down below. And so she will also be covering this same topic that I am doing over on her channel, so that allows you guys to get more than one perspective and even additional information that might help you with the particular topic that we are talking about today. And so that topic is, of course, what you need to know from your shadow self. We're really going to be talking about shadow work, what is your shadow sort of representing, and how can you best start working with it in order to integrate with it and become, your fullest self in that sense. So I will say that, depending on whatever pile you choose, I have no idea what the messages are yet. And so there could potentially be messages that you might find triggering or uncomfortable, because shadow work is typically, it's not a particularly comfortable process to work through, but it's super important. And when I say the shadow, please do understand that, like, your shadow self, it is not a bad or negative or evil thing. It really represents sort of that unconscious part of ourselves that is often sort of associated with what we perceive as a weakness, as a fear, as a trauma, as, self-doubt, whatever it may be. And so that's why it's so important, just as much as it's important to work on one's strengths, one's light sides, to also work on that shadow self. But it's a process that you can't just yank the shadow out from the dark and into the light, or else that could lead to some extra troubles in that way. So it's a gradual process. It takes time and it takes a lot of dedication to do it. There's a ton of videos here on YouTube that really delve into all the different types of shadow work you can do. And so I highly encourage you guys to do your own research into that. Everybody has their own way of doing it, whether it's through journaling, through meditation. But the point is to really understand why, the reason why you have a certain fear or a certain insecurity, or, what is the cause behind it. And by understanding it, you can, I often see it as, knowing your strengths is great, but also knowing your weaknesses is just as important, because they both support each other. This goes all back to the element of needing to balance. We're all made up of different polarities, of different aspects, and so we have to constantly keep working on keeping that balance within ourselves. Just as we need to keep a balance between the masculine and the feminine, we also need to keep a balance between the light and the shadow. And so neither one is negative or particularly positive. They all have their own sort of pros and cons, but that's just how life is. Again, so that's just my little message here, kind of explaining how, again, I'm learning this, how I'm perceiving it, how I like to interpret. So again, we will get into what the messages are here, and hopefully I will also say, if you are particularly drawn to a certain pile and then you start hearing the message and you feel like, maybe this doesn't apply to me, I would still consider finish watching the whole entire video, because again, that could be sort of an aspect of your shadow, or maybe even your ego trying to say, oh, like, that doesn't apply to me. But really, it's like, in my opinion, in my own experience of doing and experiencing these kinds of Pixie cards, it's like it usually calls you out, and deep down inside, exactly what the cards are talking about, even if, like, on a conscious level you want to try to ignore it, because that's kind of how it works. It's like the shadow aspects are things that we really want to ignore about ourselves or not face, but we really need to, in order to heal possibly old wounds, old traumas, or just move up into our next stage of evolution, of spiritual evolution, all of that. So that, I'll stop my long-winded discussion here and introduce you to the piles we have. So for pile 1, we have the purple goldstone here. For pile 2, we have this zebra jasper. For pile 3, we have black obsidian. For pile 4, we have this labradorite piece. For pile 4, we have thulite here. And then for pile 6, we have Howlite. So take as much time as you need, meditate on the cards, again, connect to your intuition, use a pendulum if need be, use your own body as a pendulum, whatever works for you. Just really get, calm and centered and try to, reach out to your shadow self and have them help to dictate, what message is meant for you. And of course, if you're attracted to more than one pile, that is perfectly fine. Your message, your personal message might be spread out across more than one pile because, of course, this is a general reading. So with that said, I will see you at your pile selection. All right, for those of you who picked the purple goldstone here, I'm going to go ahead and start off by laying out all of your cards and then sort of get a general sort of overview of the energy I'm feeling off them, and then we'll get more specific into each individual message from the cards. So for the tarot, we have the 8 of Swords. We then have card 4, Is This Me? We also have card 7 with Sacrifice. We then have card 24 here with the message of You Belong to Paradise. We also have card 41, Transgression, Flaws, Contradictions, Mistakes. We also have card 16 with the Inner Child, as well as card 5 with Sadness. We then have card 6 with Birth of Creation, Potential Growth. And finally, we have also card 8 with Channel Your Knowledge, Critical Judgment. So, looking over these cards, one of the first things that stands out to me is the inner child also being present here. So, for some of you, I feel like the message here, a lot of what your shadow is sort of working through, what it's connected to, stems from your childhood, from a maybe experience you had as a child, something that occurred during then, or it's possibly for others of you, it's a message that a lot of what your shadow is going through is also connected to your inner child. Maybe they're both trying to work together to help you work through a certain issue. It's interesting that we also have the sadness card here. So I feel like there is a lot of sadness that is related to the inner child as well as sort of the shadow, a deep sort of sadness there. Maybe, especially like the 8 of Swords, I feel a lot of kind of trapped energy. There is a great desire here for expression, I feel like, for really letting oneself completely free in that sense, because we have that message of, is this me? And then also when I look at this sadness card, I see, the paint palette here. Also with Channel Your Knowledge, I'm seeing writing, I'm seeing, we also have Birth of Creation, potential growth. There's a lot of potential here, but again, you have to get over or overcome whatever your shadow here is trying to tell you. So let's go ahead and get into the 8 of Swords more specifically. So with the 8 of Swords, from this particular deck, which is the Ghost Spirits Tarot, is referencing the Flying Dutchman. So maybe that is significant for some of you. And, it's talking about you feel a loss of control in a difficult situation. This card is a reminder to listen to what others have to say. And so, again, it's feeling trapped, it's feeling stuck, it's feeling like you can't move or you can't make a decision about something because you're sort of in the... in the wind for some reason. That saying just popped into my mind. But it's like you're almost like you feel like a victim to fate or something, or maybe it's, especially I'm looking now at that transgression card over here, flaws, contradictions, mistake. I feel like maybe you experienced some sort of you feel like you did some major mistake maybe in your past, in your childhood, and you're almost like there's like an inner kind of, again, sadness or suffering because you made this decision and now you're sort of reflecting back and sort of being extremely hard on yourself because you feel like you made that decision and it was a mistake because things haven't progressed in the way you were expecting it to. I feel like for some of you that might resonate. So let's go ahead and also talk about this card 4, Is This Me? So this is referring to the moon phase, the new moon phase, and it's talking about with this particular deck, which is the Dark Mirror. This is a really good deck for kind of talking about the working with the shadow, working with it, and it's reflecting different stages of, the grieving process. And so with this one, it's referring to the stage of acceptance. So I cannot recognize myself, but I'm still me. I cannot recognize myself as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? So this card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once. The last time I stopped to really think about it. In my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom, but truly I'm now 45 and I weigh thrice. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers at an Excel file out in an insurance office. It's not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life, but actually I have a very well-paid job that makes me travel and I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in a mirror? Do we like what we are? Make no excuse, because the choices which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. Oh my God, that's exactly what I was getting off these cards. Again, I feel like a lot of you who picked this pile, you're at a stage right now, and this is why your shadow, why you're even attracted to this reading, because your shadow is really coming up strongly right now at you, trying to get this message across that while the choices you've made are not bad necessarily, there's nothing wrong with them. You made sort of I feel like the smart, responsible choices throughout your life, but what did you sacrifice in the process of doing that? Did you sacrifice yourself, who you truly are inside? Oh, I'm like, this is going to be an emotional freaking reading, this whole entire video, but let's talk about the sacrifice card here. So we have, oh God, I'm getting hit with that sadness here right now. Like you guys, you have a lot to reconnect with yourself. Like it's like, I'm not getting anything strongly negative about this. It's just like you've made the choices and you've almost in a way lost other opportunities that could have possibly led to you really connecting to this dream. Again, this dream could stem from your childhood. You might have had for some of you, a very strict kind of childhood where it was like, you need to do this and this and this in order to be like a responsible, member of society kind of thing. But really it's like you had more of an artist soul or a poet soul, or just like somebody who just really wanted to express themselves in a completely different way. And you made the choices to go along with what was supposed to be the right choices, but maybe, it's time now. You've built something for yourself. And again, it's nothing bad, but maybe it's time to, again, find your paradise. So with this card here, we have sacrifice, which is talking about the waning gibbous moon cycle, and it's the stage of anger. So again, you might not just have sadness related to this, but you might have some anger. I feel like it's a lot of anger towards yourself for like, why did I made these choices, but it wasn't maybe what I really wanted. But I just went along with it anyway because I didn't think that what I really wanted to achieve was actually achievable. For some of you, again, that might resonate. So even if I have to break apart, as long as it serves a purpose, I have accepted my duty, and in my release, I found freedom. There is a strong power in sacrifice. Our fears, our hopes, they are all chains to a small world. Our sense of self is a small, petty creature of uncertain resolve and shaky horizons. With sacrifice, we renounce our sense of self. We accept to be lost. We accept to be shaken and cut and bruised and hurt and burdened and locked and stricken and despised and gossiped and betrayed, and be misunderstood and be left alone to rot, to die with just words of thanks while the world goes on over our broken dreams, but when we drown our sense of self to sacrifice, we are also a greater person. We are screaming, I exist, I make the difference. We accepted a price to pay, and we used our blood and tears as currency. That gives us the right to stand tall. So again, I feel like this is all about removing your shadow here is about removing the false sense of self that you have created at this point. Is this me? You need to sacrifice the ideal of what you think you're meant to be in this life. You need to follow your own dream and your own passion, no matter how much other people are going to misunderstand you. They're going to gossip about you. They might judge you. It's like their opinions do not matter because, again, it's your life, not their life. Again, I feel like, and in that, it's like, don't be self-critical of yourself because you have made the choices up to now and you have experienced this certain life that really, on a basic level doesn't align with what your deeper, dreams and aspirations are. But you had to go through that experience because you had to learn certain skills from it. It was part of your journey. Again, don't look on the past as something negative, but look as it because you had to experience that so that you now know that it's never too late to change your path, to change your course, because really you're not changing anything. You've been on your path all along. It's just now you're at this point of realization of unchaining yourself and realizing how far you've actually come. And now it's time to take this new step of creation. So let's go ahead now and also talk about this card 24 here. You belong to paradise. So with this card, it's talking about trust your innate goodness and expect the best. That is what is attracted to you in this time of your being. It's time to relax and enjoy your own blossoming. Self-love is a popular term and always worth exploring deeply. Unconditional self-love is even more gratifying to explore. This girl in this image has stopped fighting herself. The sweetly scented white petals frame her face as are her surrender flags. Again, both of these cards right here are talking about you need to surrender and release whatever, stop fighting yourself. Again, stop fighting what your soul, what your inner child, what your shadow, everything is calling you to do. Stop fighting it because you believe that it's not practical or it's not what you're meant to do as like a functioning adult or, in society. It's like you need to stop. You need to just surrender to your inner calling here. Surrender, that ideal. She finally just loves herself and accepts her innate goodness and beauty. Now it is your time to do the same. All life transforms around you into a paradise. Heaven truly is here on earth, in your arms, in your life. Yes, hug yourself and enjoy your bliss. This card can appear as a sign of upcoming improvements in comfort in life, reflecting ease and joy. And even freedom from pain. Positive gifts are assembling around you and will bring you great happiness. So yes, this is all about you need to have more self-love for yourself. And so I'll also show on screen here the ritual if you want to do in regards to this card to help you, and this could be a practice to use to help heal your shadow and, integrate it with you. This is one of the steps here. So all right, so we're also going to go ahead and now talk about transgression over here with card 41. This flaws, contradictions, and mistake. Again, I feel like you guys are very conflicted because, I feel like, again, you kind of grew up with a certain belief about how things are supposed to be done, and it really contradicts what your inner calling is telling you to do. And again, that tears you kind of apart, and it makes you have a lot of this sadness, and again, also anger and just inner conflict all around. But let's go ahead and talk about this card a little bit more. So with this card, it's talking about when we go against our integrity, our soul will let us know. And if we continue to deny that inner voice, the universe will show us where we are going wrong. So again, the more you kind of contradict and you go against your inner calling, your intuition, the more I feel like your outer reality is going to reflect that, because the universe is going to keep putting up roadblocks. It's going to keep making things harder and harder for you in order to make you slow down and stop. so that you can get quiet with yourself and realize like, hey, wow, this is what my intuition has been telling me all along. And I've just been too kind of closed off or too, again, stuck in my own way of thinking about things. That is, again, it could be related to the ego. It could be related to how you grew up, what your society has told you to believe. And it's like, no, you need to stop and you need to listen, because it's only going to lead to more problems here. I'm also going to read for these cards in this particular reading, because with these, there's a sort of the blessing side of it as well as the curse side. I'm going to read both, because again, both might be, what's the word I'm looking for? Applicable to this reading. I don't know if that's the right word. But the curse side of this is crowding out your inner voice, continuing down a path that we know is against the truth of our soul, breaking universal laws. So make amends, take stock, assess, and redirect, and come back into harmony with the voice of your soul. All of these cards, it's so crazy. I did not look at these cards before I flipped them over here, and they're all lining up. And so now let's go ahead and get into these Heal Yourself reading cards. That's what these cards are coming from, the particular deck. And I feel like these are going to really kind of drive home some points that are going to help you work with your shadow. So we're going to start with the inner child here with card 16. Your inner child is urging you to lighten up a little, get out of your comfort zone, and have fun. Again, I feel like your inner child and your shadow are both they're either like I don't know, I feel like they're working together more than they're working against each other, because your inner child is trying to, again, kind of coax the shadow out. This is how you can coax it out and integrate it, is by connecting also to your inner child. Your inner child is waiting there with open arms to help you as well. So in order to be healthy, we must engage our imagination, creativity, and spontaneity. When was the last time you did something spontaneous, intuitive, and outrageous? When and with whom do you feel uninhibited, relaxed, and completely comfortable to be yourself? Your inner child can be your strongest ally or your biggest foe. It can assist you to heal childhood pain, rejection, loneliness, and abandonment. It can take you on an exciting adventure, help you become more confident, daring, original, and bold. Or it can make you behave in childish ways, bringing up anxiety, fear, and suspicion. This card beckons you to heal your childhood pain and discover your independence, compassion, creativity, talents, and joy. Healthy inner child can help you connect to your integrity. And there we go. We have that coming up again. You're compromising your own integrity. Again, your inner voice, you know what your integrity is, but you're not following it right now. That's what this is all about. And so, divinity and purity. It believes in miracles and creates magic in your life. So these cards also have actions. So I'm going to go ahead and show that up on screen here. And so again, this is another practice to do, to not only just connect to your inner child, but also through connecting to your inner child, you're going to heal your shadow self as well. That is what this is strongly connected to. It's strongly connected to your childhood as well. And so the next card we have here is sadness. So let's see what it has to say. Again, I feel like it's going to totally line up. It's easy to swallow your sadness and hide behind a fake smile. Yet sadness can open the door to your heart and help you access compassion. You need to sit down and have a good cry with yourself. You just need to let it loose. When you can truly allow yourself to cry and feel sorrow over the loss of a loved one, a lost opportunity. See, I was talking about that. A broken heart or a friendship that's ended, you cleanse your soul and allow your heart to heal. Crying and feeling vulnerable can be a sign of strength. Again, you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, the walls you've placed up, the ego, the pride here for sure. Like you feel like you can't, you're not allowed to cry or to feel, sadness over the things that you have lost, because it's like, that's, again, it's not practical. It's like you haven't really lost anything, but no, you have, because you've been ignoring this whole aspect of yourself for so long now. You just need to sacrifice it and again, break down and have a good cry. Be vulnerable with yourself, be vulnerable with other people. Again, not everybody's going to accept your point of view or what it is you want to do or understand it, but it's like you have to speak your truth and just put it out there. Whether they accept it or not, it doesn't really matter as long as you can accept yourself and keep going forward. Be willing to let go of the cold walls of protection you have created, which make you feel empty and sick. You don't need to get lost in your emotions. Just give yourself time to feel them and let them move through your whole being, cleansing and purifying your heart, body, and soul. So here is also the action for this particular card. I have it here up on screen, so if you want to pause, take note. Again, these are all good things for you to work on to help connect to your shadow and heal these aspects. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the final two cards here. We have, of course, Birth of Creation, and we have 8, Channel Your Knowledge. So let's go ahead and talk about this, cosmic egg right here. Potential growth, a fresh start. So since ancient times, the egg has been a symbol of the universe, creation, and life itself. It's symbolic of the holy resurrection and Trinity, the seed of potential life and luck and wisdom. A representation of womanhood and fertility, eggs need incubation and serve as protection for the growing life within. A gathering of energy, a combination of light and shadow, yin and yang, all meeting in one sacred space, evolving and growing at a rate invisible to the outside world. Like an egg, life can be fragile. Given a sustainable environment, life emerges, cracking and opening its protective layer. Again, we have that message coming up again. You need to let yourself out. You have all this hidden potential and possibility, but you have to, again, release the walls around it so that you can, again, blossom. This was talking about blossoming here. You are also a product of your environment. Everything that is around you is destined to evolve, change, and develop as you grow physically. These environmental influences form a part of your conscious actions as you adapt to the world around you. So again, I feel like that stems back from here. The environment you grew up in has kind of molded you and shaped you. And again, that's not necessarily to be a negative thing, but you have to be aware of how it's done that to you. Right now your spirit is asking you to try new routines, get creative, create a vision board about what you would like to achieve in life, whether small or large goals, interests, or short or long-term achievements. Take the time to nurture these areas. Birthing new ideas and projects now will bring many blessings. Family matters, children, and fertility are in focus now. Seek professional advice to maintain or provide a sustainable and healthy environment. If you are preparing to start or add to your family, your physical issues and emotional matters need to be addressed now. The shadow aspect with this card is resurrecting the past, rigidity, victim-based mindsets, which I think I brought that up earlier in your reading. So the sacred crystal here is kunzite. The angel assistance is Archangel Jophiel, family harmony, and nurturing life. The affirmation, I adapt lovingly to new environments. I nurture new life with love. And so next up, of course, we have channel your knowledge. Clear expectations, critical judgment. Automatic writing, there you go. That might be a really good practice for you guys to help you work through what your shadow is trying to bring up here by just automatically writing it. Again, journaling might be very good for you. I also feel like almost like automatic drawing in tandem with that might be also a good thing. Automatic writing is a safe and powerful process of channeling spirit directly into writing. Like any sense of it or intuitive skill, it can be sharpened and improved with time and practice. More importantly, anyone can learn this skill. Without the active conscious self, the mind becomes free to instruct and navigate the individual. Automatic writing enables the channel to access higher states of consciousness and awareness. Innovative and creation is a product of channeling in this way. Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, and Albert Einstein were consistently inspired by the form of thought from pen to paper. Or if you are just beginning to open yourself to intuitive and spiritual communication, automatic writing can act as a bridge to strengthen your mind and intuitive channel. Before undertaking such a skill, you are encouraged to keep a clear and sacred space free of lower thought forms and energies that may cling or seek to enter an open channel door. Seek a suitable teacher. Currently, soul guidance is required. You are being asked to connect to the higher wisdom of your soul. Removing ego-based barriers such as expectations, internal ridicule, fear, and control are necessary for clarity and peace of mind. Feelings of being physically, mentally, or energetically blocked or stuck in areas of your life such as employment and relationships require action, but you must be ready to let go of your expectations. Creating a peaceful environment to free your mind is essential now. Allowing your pen or pencil to wander on a sketch pad, forming doodles or symbols or painting or musical creation will assist in writing issues such as writer's block. With relaxed breath, let your thoughts inspire you to create or record new information as your inner thoughts and spiritual messages are conveyed to you to record in written word. Working with high vibrations or elevated energy levels will improve this communication and length of spiritual discussion. So with this card, the shadow aspects are ignoring your own advice, inability to be objective. The sacred crystal here is blue kyanite. The angel assistance is guardian angel Harwell. Here, I'll go ahead and show it up here on screen. Educational success, writing productivity. Affirmation, my mind is open. I receive my soul's guidance loud and clear. Wow, guys, like all of these cards completely lined up with each other. Again, you have a lot of inner knowing. You know what it is you're supposed to be doing. You know what your inner child has been telling you to do, as well as what your shadows, what your shadow is representing here. And so I feel like, again, you guys have something inside you that wants to, again, be birthed, be unlocked, be, cracked open like this cosmic egg and just released. But you have to remove the barriers. You have to allow yourself to just be you without your own self-critical judgment on yourself as well as other people. Again, I feel like you guys need to review back to your childhood and really think about the environment that shaped you and what aspects gave you the strengths that you have and what aspects gave you certain weaknesses, certain challenges. And again, don't be critical. Don't be judgmental about it. You be objective about it. Look at it from a higher perspective and just realize, what are the pros and cons from it and how can you work with that now? How can you reshape if there's certain aspects that you were kind of molded into from that time? How can you work to unmold it if you don't like it? Again. So yeah, again, for you guys, automatic writing is going to be a huge part of this, as well as just, again, some of the other actions that I've held up, doing more practices that are related to self-love. And again, uncoiling, those chains you hold around yourself. And again, remove some of the expectations. I feel like you guys have, again, these sort of ideals of how you think things are supposed to be just from like a practical level or, a society level that need to be reworked. Again, it stems back from your childhood. For a lot of you guys, don't view things though that you've experienced as mistakes or ignore your inner voice anymore. Nothing was a mistake. It was something that you had to experience in order to get you to this point where now you can realize these things. So with that said, I do hope that this reading resonated for you, that you find it helpful, that it helps you in this, your beginning practice of shadow work or your continuing practice of shadow work. And so, if you would like to, leave a like on this video, comment down below, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notification if you do not want to miss any future videos. Also, make sure to check out my Pisces-Twins video on this same topic and see, how the readings line up. Do you get the same message or do you get more additional information that helps you with this process and all of that good stuff? So I will see you guys in the next one and I hope you have a beautiful day. For those of you who picked the group with the zebra jasper stone here, I'm going to go ahead and start off by laying out all of your cards and then sort of getting a general reading of what I sense from them and then delving into each individual card more in depth. So for your tarot, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. We also have card 11 with Addicted. We also have card 32 here with Make Your Dreams Real. We also have card 9 with Honor Yourself. We also have card 1 with Eternal Youth, Energy, Newness, and Vitality. We also have card 28 with Love. And we have, how very fitting for this particular reading, we have 21, Illuminate the Shadow, Focus on a Solution. This is a really interesting reading. I'm getting I don't know, kind of conflicting information maybe, or like I feel like there is something like that happening. I feel like there's kind of like a bottling up of energy possibly in this reading. What I'm really being strongly attracted to here is the message of honor yourself. I feel like you need to spend more time nurturing yourself. I feel like this is a group that is strongly probably related to this message of self-love and, you know, really going out there and achieving your dreams. But I feel like there's a big, you know, crutch here in the sense of addiction. You know, addicted. You could have maybe troubles with addiction, or, you know, that lends itself to, oh, I'm feeling like, again, this might not resonate for everybody, but I feel like there was a rejection from your mother or like a mother figure, or you didn't get to experience a loving connection with a mother figure. Or it could possibly be a father figure, but again, I'm getting a stronger sense of the feminine here, especially with something like the Queen of Pentacles, and that has led you to sort of use other substances or other experiences, other people even, as a form to, you know, compensate for what you lacked in that, what was supposed to be that bond. Again, that might not resonate for everybody, but that was just what I was getting there. But I feel like you guys, you have so much potential. Again, you have a lot of vitality and energy that you can really achieve some amazing stuff. But again, I feel like this is your biggest crutch right here. Is this whatever the addiction card is going to talk about here, like that is your biggest thing here. That is what you need to get over. Because once you have mastered that and you have overcome it, everything else opens up for you here. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit more specific into this. Let's go ahead and talk about this Queen of Pentacles from the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot and see what it has to say specifically. So with the Queen of Pentacles, this is referring to, I'm not sure exactly. It's a Scottish spirit, winter spirit, capable of summoning destructive storms. I'll go ahead and show this on screen so you guys can know the word specifically. I'm not going to try to butcher it and say it because I know I'm just going to mess it up. Despite her cold temperament, you know, she was an important part of the seasonal cycles, forcing the land to go fallow and rest before the return of lush greenery. So the divination meaning here with this card is, with a pragmatic mindset, prosperity will reveal itself in a multitude of ways. Seek the advice of someone who is a good money manager. Make plans for the future. You know, also, of course, the Queen of Pentacles is all about, you know, a woman who has great control over both her work and career aspect as well as her home life. She's a great nurturer. She gets shit done. Like, she is all around very stable, very successful. And so again, I want to look at this card a little bit closer. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential here to unlock in yourself, but I feel like there's a lot of lack of motivation, almost like laziness, or like kind of like a feel sorry for me kind of. Again, I'm sorry if the messages are going to come out harsh or whatever, but I'm just going to say what is coming through. Like a feel sorry for me kind of attitude, where it's like you, again, this might resonate for some of you, you kind of sit back and you expect things to happen for you instead of just going out and doing it because of, again, maybe a lack of motivation or sort of a dependency on a certain sort of addiction. And it's like, you guys, you have so many talents and possibilities. It's just like a lack of putting the work in, I feel like, is kind of what I'm getting here. But let's go ahead and move on into some of these other cards. Let's talk about this addicted card specifically. So this is card 11. And this is referring to the waxing crescent moon phase. And, you know, these particular cards from the Dark Mirror reflect different stages of sort of the grieving process. And so this is the stage of depression. So you guys might battle a lot of depression. Again, this is coming from your shadow. You know, it's not about choosing the chains. It's about choosing them again and again. Freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I chose the later. Addiction is something. To drugs, to love, to company, to evil, to pain, to safety, to making simply everything that can be deep. They have in common the feeling of being lost, if we ever are without it. Freedom is not a friend. It is a promise. It is a promised responsibility. Failure, challenges, freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So again, this is about talking about giving away your power to something or someone else or some situation. You're putting yourself in a position of sort of, as this card is kind of referencing, of being a slave to something, so that I feel like it's a mechanism so that you don't have to take responsibility for what it is you really want in your life. I don't know. That was something I was getting. So how can it be that it is so easy to believe that freedom is an illusion, and it's so hard to feel that slavery is an illusion as well? What the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all, when we lose the desire much before losing the will to fight, is that actually possible to reach for the sky even when bound by chains? This was a very confusing I'll just say it. This was a very confusing paragraph to read right here. The wording is a little strange, but the point that it's getting at is, again, and right next to it we have make your dreams a reality. It's like you're cutting your face off despite you're cutting your nose off despite your face. I feel like there's a lot of self-doubt here as well. Like you give up before even making the steps to do it. Like let me reword that better. You're giving up before even beginning. Does that make sense? Like you have a dream, you have something you want to achieve, or you want like a certain love in your life or whatever it may be. And before you even take the step to even try, you just automatically give up and say like, oh, I can't actually do that. Or like, I'm too dependent on this, or like, I'm not beautiful enough, or whatever it may be. Like there's something like that. Again, I feel like you might have had, for some of you, a very strained relationship with a parent, probably a mother figure that led you to feeling this way. I feel like there is something like that connected here. But let's go ahead and talk about these two cards here. Let's talk about that, tangibility with card 32. Like with your guys' reading, I'm getting very like riled up because like, again, I feel like you guys can achieve so much, but you're not, again, I feel bad saying this, but like, you're not trying hard enough. Like, and what I mean by that is like, you're like telling yourself you are trying, but really you're not. Like, because you're coming from this lack mindset, you're coming from a negative mindset that is holding you back, when really it's like, you just need to push yourself a little bit harder and realize it's like, I don't know, I'm getting the sense of like kind of like a bubble barrier like here. It's like, or like maybe it's more like a plastic bubble, like bubble wrap. Okay, you know how like you can like poke at it and it just like kind of moves, but you can't poke through it until you start squeezing, and then it finally pops. It's like you guys keep just like pushing, like patting at that bubble, instead of just finally busting through it and getting the satisfying like pop sound afterwards. I don't know, that's a very strange analogy, but that's like what I'm getting off this particular group. I feel like there's a lot of frustration here. Like your shadow is really frustrated at you. Like there's a lot of aspects about you, like your inner self, that is just extremely frustrated at the moment, because in your spirit guides, and particularly like your angels, your ancestors, like they're all extremely frustrated. It's like they understand what you've experienced. They know like where you came from, the challenges you had, and like how you ended up in this point of like addiction. But it's like they see how much, again, potential you have to bust out of that. It's just like, a crutch. You can break out of it. You just have to do the work, I feel like. And again, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do the work, because you can. But anyway, getting on. I'm sorry, guys, if this is like you picked this file and like you're feeling like I'm giving you a lot of tough love right now. It's like, it's just what it's channeling through. Okay, I'm sorry, but that is just, I'm not going to hold back in any of these readings, what I'm getting off them. It's like, this is a tough love reading for you. But anyway, make your dreams real. Is your head in the clouds? Are you feeling floaty and ephemeral? Lofty states of being are best appreciated when we are grounded. Earth's animals are our teachers. When we float in life so long that we feel directionless or confused, they show us the way to practical action in the physical plane. Animals live authentic lives and do not claim to be anything other than what they are. Consider the qualities of different animals. What are you drawn to in this current moment? The lessons you need and the best action to take lies in the connection you recognize. The unconditional love and joy of a dog, the shedding skin of a rebirthing snake, the sensuous purring of a cat, the chrysalis transformation of a butterfly. To find the answers you seek, it's time for animal connection and communion. The girl of tangibility comes to know her dreams are possible as the bird alights on her crown and the butterflies kiss her shoulders. The clouds of illusion part, and she can see her dreams made real by communion with her animal companions. I'm getting like major chills right now. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like you guys need to connect to animals, with nature. You need to study them. I feel like you might be drawn to a particular, maybe you have a pet. It's like you need to connect with that. So in fact, let me go ahead and show on screen here the ritual that is related to this card. Learn from animals. So go ahead, pause this, take note of this, because this might help you with your shadow work. So let's go ahead now and also move to the card of Euphoria with honor yourself. So the white goddess with the feathered, I knew it. Again, so when I was talking about the snake in this card, I've got like even more tinglings. That is what's happening here with this crown. It's swans and snakes. So those might be significant animals for you. But the feathered snake / swan countenance represents the sacred fusion of air and earth, divine inspiration bounded with earthly tangibility. There is a essential aspect to this card. It is now your duty to honor your physical self in an exalted way. Have you been abusing your body, poor eating, excesses of toxic substances, and dragging yourself through workouts you don't enjoy? Is punishing, not celebrating yourself. Don't put anything in your body that is not worthy of your goddess statues or god. If you're a masculine, quality over quantity is key at this time. Awaken to your sacred self. Be selective about who you allow in physical proximity to you. In matters of sex and sensuality, do not share your sacred self with someone who is not worthy of you or who does not treat you in the honorable and respectful way. The woman of Euphoria holds her hands gently and seductively over her heart as she considers the blessed magnificence of her reality. She is quiet and reflective. This is a deep inner comprehension, not bound by society's laws and others' opinions. Inside, she is infinite, and her physical form is the gateway. So let me go ahead and show on screen the ritual here. Sacred self-care. Again, I told you guys this was going to be a big pile for self-love and self-care. Here's the other side of that too. So again, do this ritual if you feel called to, and it's going to help with your shadow work here. So again, so crazy that this card is coming up and it's talking about like substance abuse. It's talking about poor eating. It's talking about even like working out, doing workouts that are not good for your body, or like working out too hard. I feel like whatever it is, you're kind of addicted to doing this thing, and you need to find balance again. I feel like both of these cards were referencing connecting to animals, connecting to the earth and to the air. So it's like you guys need to get grounded. You need to purge. You need to do a complete and utter huge cleansing of your body. Whatever it is you're addicted to, do a total cleanse of it. Remove it. And that's going to lead to, again, we have the message here of eternal youth. Like, I feel like you guys, I'm going to just say abuse your body too much. Like your health is not a priority for you, and you need to take better care of it, because we have eternal youth here. You have that potential. And so with this card, let's go ahead and talk about it. So with these particular cards, there's a blessing side and a curse side. I'm going to be reading both. So you are about to be rejuvenated and filled with energy and potential. You will look and feel very well, and your health will be vital. You will be very attractive, and people will be drawn to your youthful free spirit and optimism. You know, the curse here is tired, feeling old and worn, feeling devalued by a society which reveres youthful appearances, wondering where your youth has gone, regrets about your younger years, depleted energy. So again, this is something you've been dealing with since you were young. Again, I feel like one of these cards mentioned like, or maybe it was in the other group, something about, but I'm feeling this is resonating, but like a teenage year, like a rebellious phase or something that kind of led you into this path. And again, it was like a moment where you finally felt some sort of acceptance or some sort of care, and you just kept depending on it because you didn't have any other outlet. And now it's time to realize like the choices that you made in your youth, you can change it now, and you can choose. I feel like there's a precipice here. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm just going to say it. Like, you can either, you're at a crossroads right now. There's two paths in front of you. You can either finally make the steps to do your self-care, to change what you've been doing, or you can just keep going down the road that you're on and essentially like melt yourself away. That's what this image is showing here. It's like, you have a major choice here. You need to get serious and make the steps to change what it is you've been addicted to, or whatever the situation is here, needing to nurture yourself. Because again, that's the underlying issue here. I feel like it has to do with nurture. You have to realize that even if you can't get that nurture from something else or someone else, it has to come from you first. And then the rest will follow. So, explore the blessings of the body and mind. It's time to discover what your body can do and to instigate a transformation. It is time to give in to what you love and to make it a large part of your life. It's time to eat well, drink deeply of water, and connect with new people. It's time to love being alive, for that drinking deep from the cup of life is the true fountain of youth. Again, also for some of you, this is talking about relationships, toxic relationships that you've kept falling into. It's time to break that cycle. It could also be addiction to sex. Again, we were talking about that here. You're giving, when you're doing that act, it's like you're exchanging energy with another person. So again, if you're choosing partners who are toxic or low vibe, it's like you are taking in that energy and you're just abusing your body in that sense. You're abusing your soul, your energy. I'm getting a strong sense of that here. And so let's go ahead and talk about the healing yourself card here, which is card 28 with love, the message of love. And so this is talking about let go of your limiting beliefs about love. Your heart desires more connections, love, and nourishment. So much of this card has to talk about nourishment as well. All of this. It's not just nourishing your body with healthier choices, but nourishing your soul, nourishing your heart. You have to become your own Queen of Pentacles here. You are at a point in your life where you need to learn how to truly give and receive love. Fully opening your heart will awaken your vulnerability, sensitivity, and fear, in particular your fear of rejection and intimacy with another person. However, and again, I feel like with that, I feel like you might be like, oh, I don't have a fear of rejection or intimacy with another person because maybe you're like totally being super sexual, having a ton of different sexual partners. But again, that's not, if you're just having sex for the gratification of it, it's like, that's not intimacy. That's not the close bond. That's not like tantra, that's not what that message is. That's not what you're experiencing. You're just doing a physical act. There's none of the connection behind it. That's the intimacy. So again, and that could be stemming from a fear of rejection because you were rejected when you were younger, when you were craving, when you were desiring that kind of intimacy, it was rejected from you. And again, this stems back that even though you had those experiences, you can't change the past, but you can change your present and your future by realizing that, hey, it starts with me. I accept myself. I love myself first and foremost. I receive and give love to myself equally. Again, there's a message here of equality of exchange as well. start with yourself and then watch it extend to every other connection around you. But anyway, however, you will also unleash your passion, inspiration, and greatness and an ability to care deeply. Start seeing how great life is and be willing to connect to others. If you've been holding on to past pain then it's time to acknowledge, feel, and move forward. Give yourself permission to let people in. Ask for love with all your heart and soul, and it will come. Look for something beautiful in every person you encounter. Focus on feeling good. Whenever you see people loving each other, and know this is coming to you in a form of love of a lifetime or an incredible friendship. So again, there's a possibility here. You guys are so close. If you just choose the right path forward here and start, doing this work, you have the potential of meeting a great soulmate or like a twin flame here, or even just like a soulmate in the form of a long-lasting lifetime of a friendship that's just going to be there to support you through everything. It could be whatever possibility here, but it's like the potential is there. And so here is the action in regards to this love card. So again, this might be very useful for you to do for your shadow work as well. And so let's go ahead and move on to the last card here, which is literally illuminate the shadow. Focus on a solution. You need to find a solution to these issues. And there is a solution to be found. So, and look at this. In this particular card, what do we have pictured here? We have a bunch of different animals. We have... Let's see, we have definitely like a panther or a tiger. We have a crow, and I feel like that's an owl as well. So again, connecting to animals. Maybe that's where you start. Maybe just, if you don't have a pet already, find a pet that you really resonate with. And again, your pet is going to give you unconditional love. And that could be a really great way to start. And also, it's going to force you to take responsibility for another life. Like to care for, to nurture, to give, force you to go out for walks if it's like an animal that needs to go on daily walks, or, constant care, changing the water, changing, out stuff in a tank, bedding, all of that. Maybe that is the way that will help you by connecting with another animal. It doesn't even you don't have to start off by just purchasing a pet. And I feel bad saying bring in a pet into your home, but even maybe something as simple as volunteering at an animal shelter or something along those lines might be a great way to start to help you with that. I feel like that's a big thing for you guys to do, because it's going to teach you how to care for yourself more, because you're going to realize by giving all this care and affection, both physically, mentally, emotionally, to another creature that is not like a human, that's going to give you unconditional love and care back. It's going to teach you how to do that for yourself. I feel like that could be a beginning step for you guys. But anyway, with the illuminate the shadow here, it's simplifying the issue, focus on a solution. When we understand our shadow, we can fully appreciate the light. We must have both aspects within our spirit to have a meaningful life. Without darkness, how can one fully appreciate the beauty and simplicity of life in all its forms? Once we remove fear and personal doubt, it makes room for love, confidence, and motivation, reclaiming your personal power. Our shadow self highlights, again, that lines up. It's literally talking about love. It's talking about taking back your personal power. You've given away your personal power to something else or someone else, because you feel like that's an easier option. Because if you don't have to take responsibility for yourself, you also don't have to take responsibility for the pain that you feel, for the rejection, for all of those aspects of your shadow. Again, you guys are, I feel like, a group who are trying to push away your shadow, to reject your shadow so hard that it's just damaging. It's just it's causing you so much more damage than you realize. You have to face your shadow. That is what this message is here for you guys so strongly. Illuminating the shadow is to fully understand your personality and subsequently understand the shadow in others, enabling us to be more considerate of other person's hardships and developing empathy with and compassion for other people. Again, that's why the animals are coming up, because by taking care of another animal, you learn compassion for another creature. That's again, I'm not trying to devalue animals at all, because that's not how I feel at all. But it's like, for a lot of people think that, you know, animals are kind of like lesser on the the toadstool as compared to humans, but they're not. But I think that will help you realize that distinction, if that makes sense. You know, have empathy and compassion for something. It doesn't have to be a person right off the bat, but by just learning how to have empathy and compassion for an animal, that's a great, amazing start. That's going to help you, again, for yourself and for other people. Right now, you're encouraged to illuminate the sections of your personality that are working against your situation. Accept that these challenging aspects are a part of you. Embrace them, love them, and plan how to achieve a form of balance and make this part of your psyche ultimately work for you. Now is the time to focus on a resolution instead of just on the problem or challenge. How did you get here? Acknowledge your current circumstances and focus on how you can achieve a positive outcome. Now is the time to get your personality in line with conscious thought. Apply these balanced characteristics in areas in your life that could utilize these energies, such as leadership, communication, relationships, employment, and self-talk with your spirit. Once you grow your understanding of your unique personality, you can begin to realign your life to nurture and support your goals and personal interests. The shadow aspects here are narrow-mindedness, ego-driven, cynicism. The sacred crystal here is golden sheen obsidian. Oh, so maybe for some of you, you might also want to listen to the obsidian group. But the angel assistance here is Archangel Brachiel. Let's see, I'll show it on screen in case I'm mispronouncing it. Problem solving, finding solutions. Affirmation: I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. Wow, guys. And it's so crazy. When I was reading that, I was getting that strange kind of chill feeling again. But it's not exactly chills. For some of you, it's like, it feels like almost when you're sick, you have that achy kind of like tingly, hot, cold feeling all over. That's kind of the feeling I was getting. Again, I feel like that is possibly representing for some of you who have a very strong addiction to, you know, toxic substances. That's how you could start feeling once you start to wean off that. Again, that's a feeling that you might be, or maybe that's the feeling of when you stop using it. It's like, that's a feeling you have to overcome too as well. I don't know. Again, that might resonate for some of you. It might not. But yes, oh wow. This was a very intense reading right here. But again, I feel like you guys, you have it. You have the stuff. You have it. You just have to apply it better. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to purge. All of this is so much about purging. And again, learning to nurture yourself, to nourish yourself, and have empathy and compassion. It's like, again, start by getting yourself clean. Do that first. Do your purging. Start doing your shadow work here. Start, that self-care routine, that self-love routine. Start nurturing yourself. And then I feel like, again, maybe starting by volunteering at an animal shelter, working with animals, get around them. They're going to be so healing for you. Connecting to them and then once you feel like you've gotten your environment and yourself at a point where you can actually handle caring for your own, sacred animal companion, then welcome them into your home. Again, when it comes to that, let the animal choose you too. Call out to the universe to help guide you to the right animal for you. That a sacred companion, a familiar in a sense, who's going to help support you through this. You need to welcome them in. And again, I really highly encourage you guys, if you're going to make the decision, the responsibility of caring for any kind of animal, really do your research and make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because again, that is another life that you now have to take responsibility for and care for. It's not just some fun little trendy thing like, oh, I'm going to get like a little tiny poodle dog or a pug and not realize how much work it is to actually care for a pug. Because again, like example, a pug has, respiratory issues that need to be cared for constantly. They can be extremely hard to potty train. Training in general, vet bills, all of that comes with the responsibility of having any kind of animal. So again, I feel like for some of you, that could be a really good thing, but you have to kind of work up to it. So again, I feel like start with yourself, start with your cleansing, then, get yourself in a position where you can possibly, interact with other animals in a space like a shelter that you can help, volunteer, and then, work yourself up to that point. But yes, if this reading resonated for you, please, I hope that it is extremely helpful to you. If it does resonate, that, you've gotten some sort of answer here of how to move forward. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, comment down below, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification if you do not want to miss future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day. For those of you who picked the Black Obsidian group, I'm going to go ahead and start off by laying out all of your cards first and getting sort of a general, channeled feeling off them. And then we'll dive into each card individually. And so we have the Six of Cups for your tarot. We then have card 16, Black Flower Fragrance. We then have Protection, Set Personal Boundaries. We also have card 17, Commune with the Source. We also have Seduction, Allure, Desire, Manipulation. We also have card 2 with Self-Sabotage. And finally, we have card 5, Between Worlds, New Direction. So, something I'm getting off these cards right here, especially with something like the Six of Cups, I feel like a lot of what your shadow is bringing up has to do with past karma, past lives. It could be also just your childhood. Again, a lot of that's been coming up for a lot of different people, but again, I'm getting a stronger sense of like past lives, specifically past heartbreaks. It's interesting in both these images, it's like we have these flowers around the heart. So I feel like you had all this potential coming from your heart, this deep love, I feel like, for someone else, and your heart was broken in a past life. Like something just completely ripped out your soul in that sense. And the other sense I'm getting here is that you have this really beautiful allure about you. This, again, kind of like seduction. It's like, I feel like people are very magnetically attracted to you, whether you are physically beautiful, or it's not just physical beauty. It's like, it's literally your soul. It's your energy. It brings people in like a moth to a flame. And so I feel like you are a group who've maybe attracted a lot of like psychic vampires throughout your life, and you have I feel like there's a fragility here, kind of like a flower, like a rose or something, but roses have thorns. Again, that's coming up here too. It's like you need to build up your thorns more. You need to set more boundaries, and it's not just from other people, it's also from yourself, because we have self-sabotage here. But I feel like the influence of others leads you into more self-sabotage. But there's a manipulation here as well. Whether you are manipulating other people because you have like this allure, this seductive power, kind of like a siren or an incubus or a succubus or something, and you manipulate other people, that helps you with your self-sabotage in some way. It's like you have stronger power here, because we have Commune with Source, and then we have Between Worlds. It's like, I feel like you are a group who have like a power to like astral travel or something along those lines, psychic abilities in some sort, because again, you're connected to that veil. Like, I feel like the ghosts of the past are very significant here. Very interesting. You have a very sensitive energy. Some of you could be empaths here, and that kind of affects things a lot. So let's go ahead and delve into these more individually. Starting off with that Six of Cups. Let's see what the specific message is there. And so with the Six of Cups, this is talking about revenants. So this is from the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. So they all are related to different kind of spirits or ghosts or like creatures in mythology. And so revenants were usually restless ghosts who return to the land of living to tie up loose ends. I see exactly. This is what your shadow is about. This is about getting over some past karma, some loose ties that you need to overcome. I feel like you are, in a way, a revenant. Like you have this lingering, or there are revenants around you that you have to get kind of, tie up those loose ends. Some could assume mortal qualities. Some could revisit the land of the living as ghosts, animals, or apparitions. These ghosts seek assistance to complete their mission among the living in order to find closure and a peaceful exit to the land of the dead. So yeah, this is overcoming something that, oh wow, this is really crazy because I'm pretty sure this is the full moon, and the full moon is connected to the resurrection and supernatural events. Faces seen embedded in the rocks are snapshots of past lives. Whoa, like that is crazy lining up. Like, yeah, again, I feel like you guys are a very powerful group. Like you have a lot of like psychic abilities. You can even, I feel like, commune with spirits. Like a medium or like a necromancer, something along those lines. The full moon is a very powerful time for you as well. But yeah, this has a lot to do with past lives again. And so, it's okay to reflect on the past and reconnect with old friends, but don't dwell on what was. Rather, cherish the memories and celebrate what is. So again, I feel like you guys, you're still holding on to so much baggage from the past, from past lives, especially heartbreak. I feel like you are just holding on to that so hard, and it's really affecting this current life you're in. So let's go ahead and talk about this card here, which is from the Black Mirror Oracle. And these have a lot to do with working with the shadow self, as well as, it reflects different stages of the grieving process. So let's see what it has to say for you guys. So yes, this is the full moon phase. So again, the full moon is a powerful time for you to work on this shadow work for you guys. This is the stage of anger. So, the world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world. Fuck you. That is the message. Oh my God, that is hilarious. But yeah, it's like there's deep bitterness here as well. Because again, the things did not go very well in a past life. Some significant past life that you had, just everything. It was super tragic. It was just nothing went right. And so now you're in this life and you might have a very bitter perspective on everything in this world. Like everybody's out to get you, or like you can never find love. And so that, again, I feel like because you're so powerful too, you have this allure about you. You use that as a way of like keeping others away, or, getting what you want. But in a very, again, manipulative way. So let's see what else it has to say. If we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly. Love can be cheap. Love can be rotten. But even ugly love has a right to exist. Even cheap love can raise to the sky. Even run love has the dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have the right to be angry. Even if you're not perfect, you have the right to be respected. Even if you are stupid, you have the right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have the right to complain. Even if you are rich, you have the right to be sad. If you cannot shine because you are beautiful, then shine even if you're ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black, ugly as love, worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. Wow, that is a crazy message. But yeah, it's like, again, I feel like you guys are a group that really like, you love deeply, and when things don't go bad, it's just like, oh, it's horrible. And I feel like a part of you, because you have a sensitive side to you, I feel like a lot of you, like you have this very deep emotional well, and again, possibly an empath. And so when you have these feelings, it's like you feel really bad for your own bad feelings, and that makes you kind of just feel more bad in the process. It's kind of a weird thing. But I feel like it's like the message here is to just feel it. It's like if you're going to, again, if you are a spiritual person, okay, if you are on this spiritual path, it's like, yes, light and love and all that great stuff, but it's like it is literally impossible to maintain that 24/7. That's just impossible, and that's not how the world is, okay? That's why we're even doing this video right here. We're talking about the shadow. We're talking about the shadow self. That is a part of it, and it's just as important as the light aspect. So again, if you have a negative emotion, if you have negative feelings for a moment, allow yourself to feel them. Express them, because it's like if you keep just bottling it up inside, it's just going to keep festering. It's just going to keep hurting you. It's going to keep stopping things from manifesting and going the way you really want them to. Because again, you keep holding on to it and you're not releasing it out so that it can dissipate and it can just, we have storms. When a storm happens, a good thunderstorm, a good rain, it's like, yeah, it can be scary. It can do nasty stuff. People can get hurt. But it's like in the aftermath of that, the land is watered. The earth is watered. Things are allowed to grow from that rain. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like that's the message coming through here. It's like, you got to let it rain sometimes. You can't just keep holding it in all the time. And so that's a part of you facing your shadow is, unlike with the previous group where it was like a complete rejection of the shadow, I feel like you are just kind of like, it's not the same as that other group. It's like what I feel like you guys are doing to your shadow is just kind of like keeping it away in a little cupboard, like Pandora's box. Like you have a desire to open the box, but you're scared to open the box. You get what I mean? It's like you need to just open the box and face what's in there, and let it out, because that's just how the balance of things needs to work. So let's go ahead now and move on to this protection card. Card 26. Let's talk about this. So with this particular card, it is set personal boundaries. Boundaries. It's time to set them. Small areas of ugliness are blinding you to the greater beauty that is your rightful environment. So it's, again, we have that same word coming up again, ugly. Like, I feel like for some of you, that word really deeply resonates with you, because I feel like that's something you project onto yourself. Like, I feel like you are, again, I don't want to sound mean or anything, but again, these are kind of tough love messages anyway, and I'm just going to say what's going to come out. But like, you feel like you are ugly, whether it's inside you feel ugly, your outside appearance you feel ugly, and that's just not true. Okay, it doesn't matter if you are physically beautiful or not. Everybody, that is subjective. Beauty is a subjective thing. Again, I've watched videos here on YouTube about different beauty standards across the world, and they're all so very, like, completely and utterly different, and it just depends on where you're from. So again, it's like, beauty is a subjective thing. What matters is if you find yourself beautiful inside and you accept everything you are. You have that potential here. Again, with something like the seduction card, it's like you have that. Even with this black flower fragrance, like, I feel like there is something very alluring about you guys as a group, but you're not claiming that power for yourself. So anyway, the girl of protection anchors herself softly in the present moment, yet her back of white thorns shields her from the negative naysayers of the outside world. She is not defined by her thorns, but she keeps them ready. Of particular significance with this card is setting electronic boundaries around phenomena like social media. At this time, people around you who have been allowed access to your space may not have your best interests at heart. Protect yourself. Do not suffer fools, and do not be hardened by others' cruelty. Have compassion for their wounded souls, and yet set firm boundaries. Just because you are hardened, it doesn't mean you have to be. Be soft, but strong. And so here is the ritual to do in regards to this card. So that might be very good for you in your shadow work. So go ahead and take notes if you would like. But yeah, so it's, again, I feel like you guys are a group where you try to reject your thorns in a way, like you try to hide them, because again, you have this softer side. Or again, it could be the opposite, where you're nothing but thorns and you're not embracing your softer side, whatever, however it resonates for you. It's like, again, you need to strike the balance, because a rose needs its thorns, because that's how it protects itself. So it's like, I feel like you guys need to integrate that hardcore. Again, it might be that you need to set, again, firmer boundaries with the people around you, and especially online. If you have a social media outlet of some sort that you use a lot, it's like, set boundaries. Don't feel bad if you want to block somebody, or you do block somebody, because it's like, it's social media. It's like, there's a reason that tool is there to block somebody. It's like, physically do that if you need to be. If you need to completely purge your social media and just block a bunch of people, then do it. Because, at the end of the day, so what? It's social media. It's a surface level kind of thing anyway. It has its importance. It has its usefulness. But a lot of other aspects of it is just a very shallow thing. And it just... It can do so many great things, but at the same time, it can do a lot of damage. So again, just set those firm boundaries with yourself. But let's go ahead now and also talk about this card 17 over here and see what it has to say in addition. So, commune with Source. Nature holds all the answers. The wisest witch knows her questions will be answered when she dives into the natural world without reservation. Like the girl of, let's see if I can say this, Minimus, who is fused with the forest, it is your time to merge with the source. Drop your stuff, your attachments, and be one with nature. It's time to recommune with the raw, authentic self that was you when you were sparked into existence, and what you will be when you transition into the next plane of existence. I feel like you are a group who are very connected to this, to that transition, the line between life and death. Some of you might have had near-death experiences. Like, I feel like that is a huge portion of this. And so, this card, she dips her fingers into the well of the universal inspiration. This is the card of meditation. There's also a flip interpretation. Is she retreating or emerging? If this card is drawn during a period of solitude, it is a prompt that it is now time to emerge from the dark. Restorative for, I'm like going all over the place with this. Yeah. Drawn during a period of solitude, it's a prompt that it's time to emerge from the dark, restorative forest into the sunlight to share your radiance. And conversely, if it is drawn during a time of intense activity and visibility, it's time to retreat to the shadows. So, no matter what stage you guys are, if you're in solitude, again, it's time to reemerge and join the world and shine who you are with the new set boundaries you have. Or it's the opposite, where you're too visible, you've been too in the spotlight, too much on social media. It's time to draw back and get back to your center. And so here is the specific ritual in regards to this card. So again, this might be a very good thing for you guys to work on in your shadow work. So let's go ahead now and also talk about this seduction card over here, card 8. So, which is interesting because this is an 8 and this adds up to 8 as well. So that might be a significant number for some of you. But with these particular cards, there is a blessing side and a curse side. I'm going to read both to you guys so you can get the different interpretations. So, you are now able to discern much more clearly between people who are healthy for you and people who you would do well to avoid. You are no longer feeling guilty for saying no to attractive advances. So again, that's kind of what I was getting with the other cards. It's like you need to learn, and that's part of the self-sabotage. It's like there are times where it's okay to say no. There are times where it's okay to block that person on social media if they're, too toxic for you. Learn that balance. And also, conversely, it's like maybe you need to, for some of you, if you say no too much, you're blocking your own abundance and you're blocking your own chance to experience and, again, clear up some of that past karma because you're waiting for the return of something in the past that may not come, but it may still come. But unless you're putting yourself out there, you won't ever know. The curse side of this is it's time to reassess a friendship or the kinds of people and situations you find attractive. Are you inviting unwelcome dramas and situations into your life? You are able to resist unhealthy advances from manipulative people at this time. You are no longer available for others to make use of. So again, I feel like that is what your shadow is all about here. I feel like your soul, and again, this is stemming from a past life, is yearning for some sort of connection that you had in the past, but it was cut short or something along those lines. And you keep searching for it now, and it's leading you into paths of karmic relationships. And it's like, yes, you kind of need to experience those karmic relationships because you're learning from them. But if you just keep repeatedly going back to them and it keeps damaging you and it keeps putting you into this weird situation, this self-sabotage, it's like you need to become more aware, I feel like, of it. Again, don't say yes to everything, or for some of you, don't say no to everything. And again, reassess the people that you are allowing into your circle. I feel like a lot of I'm trying to pinpoint what exactly is the issue, like the underlying reason for your shadow behaving this way and causing this kind of behavior, but it's not being very clear to me because, again, I feel like it's something that deeply stems from a past life, and I can't necessarily tell you what that is. You guys have to figure that out for yourself. But again, if this is resonating so far, take note of, again, everything that's been said because it matters for sure. So next up, let's talk about the healing card here. This is from the Healing Yourself Reading Cards Oracle deck, and this is card 2 with the self-sabotage. So let's see what this has to say. Wasn't it funny? I was just saying you guys have to become aware of like what is your underlying thing here and become conscious of how your inner saboteur functions. You're about to sabotage a big opportunity. Now is the time to stop procrastinating and cease focusing your energy on why you are unworthy of wonderful, enriching experiences. When you connect to the saboteur archetype, you begin to recognize all the ways you pass up interesting opportunities and relationships, which could make you grow, learn, evolve, and become fulfilled. The saboteur is terrified of change and guards your heart from that which is meaningful to you, with the misguided belief that if you don't try, you can't fail. It forgets that if you don't escape from your comfort zone, you cannot succeed and experience the love and joy which would fulfill you. On the lighter side, the saboteur can help you connect to your intuition and help you to listen to your deeper wisdom. It can assist you in deciphering a potentially dangerous situation from an exciting one. And so let me go ahead and show the action for this card again. Another thing that might be very good for you to do in regards to your shadow work. I just noticed it's on page 11. And so it's really interesting reading this. I know why now. I was telling the previous group, oh, maybe you guys should watch this group as well. I can see how that, especially this message here, can resonate for them as well. But yeah, again, for you, I kept bringing up like, oh, some of you are saying no too much. Some of you are saying yes too much. It's like, again, just like everything in life, there has to be a balance. You need to be more consciously aware of what opportunities to say yes to and which ones to say no to. Again, that's all about setting these personal boundaries. I feel like for a lot of you, it's one of two ways. You're either way too open, accepting everything in, and it's going to welcome in all those psychic vampires who are just going to take advantage of you, or you're way too closed off and nothing good can come in. Nothing bad and nothing good can come in. So again, you need to learn how to balance out that flow. And again, I feel, again, I keep saying again, so much of this has to do with past life. And again, I can't get too specific on what it is. I encourage you guys, if you haven't explored maybe some past life pick-a cards, I might do one here in the future as well, if you guys are interested in that, especially after this video. So yeah, if you did pick this video, you would like me to do a past life reading, do comment down below about that, and I will add it to my list and try to get that up as soon as I can, so you guys who pick this pile can also kind of review that to help you with this. But again, working with the full moon is very important for you guys as well, don't stop sabotaging yourself. Because again, there is a possibility of a really great opportunity here on the horizon, but you have to be aware. Again, the message is coming. You have to become more aware. So finally, let's go ahead and talk about the final card we have here, Between Worlds with New Directions. So this is card 5. I love the color of this card. So, life transition, new directions. The ancient soul of the sea turtle travels on many journeys throughout its physical life. Also, I just want to stop for a second, call out. When I keep looking at this image, it makes me think of tech. It makes me think of computers for some reason. So again, I feel like for a lot of you who pick this pile, you need to do a cleanse on your social media or your use of social media, however that resonates for you guys individually. I feel like there's two very distinct groups of people watching this particular pile. So again, apply that how you will. That might be why this one is being a little bit more difficult to get super specific information off, because again, there's two distinct groups of people. So anyway, the hard shell of the turtle is its home and protection. Across many religious and cultural groups, turtles can be viewed as good or bad omens. So they're often visualized as the bridge between heaven and earth and the guiding spirit that supports the world and its people. Turtles are independent travelers, always pushing forward in new directions. The nature of the sea turtle encourages exploration and experimentation at a steady pace. Patience is needed now as you encounter new opportunities that will directly affect your life decisions. That message is coming up again for you guys. There's some big opportunity right on the horizon. And so, you need to be patient with yourself. You also, again, slowing down and getting in touch with your intuition is going to help you with how to handle the opportunity. While the turtle represents the patience of life and waiting for the right time, you're encouraged not to wait too long. Right now, you may be feeling energetically blocked, physically stagnant, or feeling stuck or in between decisions that could take you left or right, leaving you worrying if you will make the wrong decision. Again, I can see how the previous pile would resonate with this pile as well. Everything comes in divine direction with the turtle totem. Try to avoid waiting too long to seize opportunities if they present themselves while the current momentum is present. Being in the right place at the right time is essential for the turtle. Be patient but assertive. A new change in career path, living arrangements, and residential location are possible now. Your home is your sanctuary. Ensure a physically clean and decluttered atmosphere for relaxation and wellness. Pay close attention to where you direct or channel your personal energy, as you can lead down opposing paths. Travel and long journeys can be favorable now, including physical and spiritual quests. Go with the flow, enjoy the journey, and trust in the process of life. Ultimately, just like the sea turtle, you may need to surrender. Let your spirit wander and drift within the sea of life to find your direction. So the shadow aspects here are irresponsible actions, financial mismanagement. The sacred crystal here is a celestial quartz. The angel assistant is Archangel Suriel, knowledge of life cycles. I trust in the flow of life. I am safe and protected in my soul's sacred journey. So I feel like, again, you guys are a group you've experienced multiple lifetimes. So you innately have all of that stored wisdom from these multiple lifetimes. I feel like you are a group who could be very spiritually advanced in that way, but I feel like just now at the moment, there's some sort of blockage happening where it's like, and I think it's something related to, again, some sort of karmic contract or tie that is from a past life, some sort of issue that hasn't been healed. And that is why you're at this point right now where things just they can't move forward until you've cleared up this issue. And again, I feel like it's tied a lot to maybe other people around you, psychic vampires, to you self-sabotaging these opportunities because you're not listening. I feel like you've kind of gotten off track. Maybe that's what it is. Like you guys have fallen off your path a little bit. And so you're kind of just hanging out here in this weird limbo state, kind of like a spirit stuck between worlds. And in order to get back there, you need to start communing with Source again. You need to set your boundaries, maybe take like some sort of spiritual retreat for yourself, like get out into nature, commune with the trees, and cut out negative people, cut out social media, internet entirely for a little bit, so that you can get back to your intuition, to your power. Maybe it doesn't need to be like a full-on vacation or anything, but like especially during the full moon, you need to be doing this. When it's a full moon, write it down in your calendar and completely cut off from the rest of the world. And so that you can just be with you, be in your center, and be able to commune with the world again. I feel like that is your strongest time to do this shadow work. So very interesting group here. Like this has been a completely different group from the previous two or so readings I've done. 'Cause I feel like you guys you maybe have been doing this shadow work for a while. Like you've been experiencing this, but like right now is a particularly hard time for you. But I don't feel like it's going to last very long. As long as you can, again, kind of like pick yourself up. I feel like you are a group that kind of like stumbled into your shadow and you're kind of just like hanging out there for a while now. And it's like you need to kind of get back out of it. So I hope this reading resonated, and then I hope it made sense to you guys who picked this pile, because again, I'm just channeling what I'm getting off the cards. It's not, some portions of it are not making complete sense to me, but it might be making more sense to you guys who are watching this. But yes, if this resonated, please do leave a like on this video. Comment down below what you thought about it. And again, if you would like me to do a past life reading specifically, like you guys are the group who definitely request that down below so I know. And with that said, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell notification if you do not want to miss future videos, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day. All right, for those of you who picked group 4 with the Labradorite stone here, I'm going to go ahead and start off by laying out all of your cards and sort of getting a collective sort of message off them, and then delving into each card individually. So we have the King of Swords here. We also have card 14, hiding your true self. We also have card 16 here with embrace oneness with the universe. I'm already getting a sense that you guys might have a kind of similar message from the previous group, group 3, but I'm not 100% sure yet. We also have the message of prey, stalked, invaded, watched. Card 31. We also have reason, listen to advice, think clearly, intellect. Card 15. We also have card 17 with beauty. We then have card 1, align your universe, navigate distractions. And the final card we have here for you guys is card 2, ascended masters, create open communication. It's really interesting. You guys are a group that have kind of, successive cards here. Like we have card 14, then 15, then 16, then 17, then we have card 1 and then 2. It's like kind of lining up in that way. So what am I getting here? I'm getting the sense of a very activated third eye, or that's an area you need to activate. I'm getting a sense here of being very connected. Oh, look at that. Embrace oneness with the universe. Align with your universe. There's a need here, again, kind of similar to the previous group, of connecting with that source energy, connecting to your ascended masters to help you through this. Because again, you could be very much hiding your true self, de-appreciating your own beauty and your own purpose here. And part of it is because you don't want to feel weak. You don't want to feel like prey. I don't know. I feel like you're a group who are maybe kind of lost at the moment. You're not sure where to head. And so there's like a desire here to find guidance. But let me go ahead and let's dive into the more specifics cards here, because I'm not getting a very strong, clear message right now. It's very interesting. The previous group and this group are kind of having that happen, because I feel like maybe you guys, the answers you're seeking, for some of you, you might already know the answers. But let's go ahead and talk about the King of Swords first and foremost, which of course is the Headless Horseman. So again, I feel like wandering aimlessly, like you have a desire, but you don't have the physical eyes to see it. So that's why it's like you need to open up that third eye so you can see in a different way. Oh, interesting. So the Headless Horseman crosses the threshold from vaporous illusion to physical predator. Look at that. You know, the markings of his gray seed suggest that evil can reveal itself in every turn. This spirit is a reminder that mental agility is paramount as you expose yourself to new ventures. Don't lose yourself in daydreams, but stay focused on the reality of the potential perils ahead. So, you know, this means a powerful masculine presence may cross your path and shake you out of complacency. Beyond the veneer of cold control may be someone who can offer necessary clarity and insight. Use your head. Wow, this is a really interesting group. Because it's like we have that here. Listen to advice, think clearly, intellect. So I was getting kind of two different messages here. Obviously, you know, there's a strong emphasis on the masculine energy here. And so for some of you, kind of the message I was getting was that there was maybe a strong masculine that was in your life that has left you, that kind of caused this shadow for you. You know, there might have been he might have been too dominant, too much of a predator for you in your life or something. But on the flip side, I feel like there's a new masculine coming in who is going to help you. It's like, is going to give you guidance, give you clearance. Or maybe it is that same masculine who completely shook you up. And, you know, you're still trying to recover from that experience. And so you've kind of reclused yourself. I feel like that's the thing here. Maybe your shadow is about not being so closed off. Or it's not even closed off necessarily. It's just like hiding yourself for fear of being hunted, I feel like is the message here. Where it's like you have the ability to be the hunter yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to that Hiding Your True Self card 14 from the Dark Mirror Oracle. And so these cards are very much about shadow work, as well as they have references to the different stages of grieving. And so with this card 14... this is talking about the moon phase of the third quarter moon, and this is the stage of acceptance. So hiding is keeping things inside. Luck of trust becomes lack of hope. So there must be a limit. You could be in front of the mirror, or you could be hiding behind the mirror, yet you chose to be the mirror. So I also will say with this particular deck, I feel like maybe this was translated from, I don't think this was translated originally. It wasn't originally in English, so the translation is a little wonky. Just going to say that. I'm going to correct it as I go. But with this, it's talking about hiding is a survival instinct. Do you want to be honest and truly be yourself? Very few people will accept you then. You are too complicated to be comfortable, too contradictory to be easy, too exceptional to be believed, too plain to be considered. You can be the sun, you can be the moon, you can be the door, you can be the road, you can be the butterfly and the brick. Maybe the question is not if, but when. Sometimes real solitude is when there is not a right moment to be yourself, and not the right person. And neither the right way. Being yourself is like a moment at the spa. It is a massage for the soul, a purification process that brings in oxygen and turns away age and wear. It is bliss and pleasure. So again, the message here is about that. This is what your shadow is all about. It's about stopping. It's about coming to a point where you can be your true self, and without fear of what others may think. And again, I feel like a part of it, it's either there was some masculine who was evolved who made you feel very uncomfortable about who you truly are, or again, both situations might apply. Or it's that there is a new masculine who's going to come in for you guys. Or again, that may not be an actual male. It could be just somebody who embodies this King of Swords energy, this masculine energy, whether male or female or whatever. But point being, who might come in to help you realize that it's okay to be who you truly are. You don't need to worry about being meek or being weak or whatever. It's like you can embrace both aspects. You can embrace being strong, being the predator, as well as being the prey and having the vulnerable side, I feel like. This is a very interesting pile. Let's go ahead and move on to this next card here, card 16, and see what it has to say. So, embrace oneness with the universe. Are you rushing through life trying to achieve and acquire? When this card appears, it's time to take a deep breath and slow down. Consider there are simple, small, happy things around you to which you are blind whilst you fixate on the desire, larger goals, and larger expectations. That are making you feel increasingly cut off, frustrated, or despondent. This girl has stepped up away from her desk, out of the kitchen, away from others' expectations. She has chosen to walk, not drive. She treads slowly in order to fully sense and notice the little things around her. Her heart lifts with a great sense of happiness. At her feet spring luscious berries and sweetly scented flowers. The world around her swells with pleasure as it senses itself being noticed and appreciated. It is time to step lightly into the world and be grateful for what you have. Notice the small things. The answers you seek reside in the small achievements and enjoyments of each day and in your willingness to be one with the universe. Look at that. That's crazy. Know that your role and place in the world is just as essential as anyone and everyone else's. It's interesting, during this whole entire reading, I keep touching my neck. I keep scratching at my neck. So I feel like maybe for some of you who have kind of a blocked throat chakra that needs to come out and you need to express yourself. I was also getting the message now, if this is not representing an actual physical, somebody who, embodies this masculine energy that you've experienced outside of yourself in your life, this could be a message that maybe there's an imbalance between your masculine and your feminine aspects. Because I'm kind of feeling like that might be the case for some of you. You're all about this action, this go, 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 go. And you need to, again, slow down and be more about that receiving, about the feminine, about taking in everything. And again, I feel like, connecting to who you truly are here. So let me go ahead and show you guys the ritual to do in regards to this particular card that might be helpful for you in your shadow work. So I have it here on screen if you would like to, pause this, take note, write it down. But let's go ahead now and also move on to this pray card, card 31, and see what guidance it has to say for you guys. So I will, with these particular cards, there's a blessing side and a curse side. I'm going to read both for you guys, so you guys can get the different interpretations. So with this, it's saying, you are able to make a stand and you are strong, clever, and powerful. It is time to stand up to a bully or to one who wishes to blame you for their own bad behavior. You did not attract the circumstances you find yourself within. You have a great deal more power than they wish you to have. The curse side here is there are lies and manipulations taking place to make you accept the circumstance. You can change this and say clearly, no, this is not right and this is not for me. Really interesting. Again, I feel like, your guys' group is so connected to the previous group as well. There's a lot of the similar energy coming up. So for some of you who picked this group, you might want to watch the Obsidian group as well, pile 3. But, do not allow yourself to be prey for another's hunger. Do not refuse to help yourself or fall into patterns of victimhood. Take good advice. Demand what is yours by rights, including innocence, and be strong in the face of the one who would devour you. You cannot always win, but the greatest battle you face at present is the one within you that says, I give up. Nothing ever goes my way. It can and it will when you believe you are worth fighting for. So there you go. There's the big message right there. So it's like for you guys, you can have a very self-depreciating kind of mindset and you kind of tell yourself you don't deserve things. And again, that could stem, I feel like there's a very, again, for some of you, a very dominant, controlling masculine that you were involved with or have been involved with, who has set you into these circumstances, but you need to reclaim your personal power. This is what this is about. Reclaim who you are. So let's go ahead and talk about the reason card over here with listen to advice. And again, both these cards, all of these cards are talking about, seeking out wise counsel, wise advice. And part of that is listening to your own inner wise advice. Oops. My light just went out right as I was saying that, so let's go ahead and fix that. Well, guys, I did an oopsie and I didn't charge the battery for my other battery for my light, so we're just gonna have to deal with this lighting situation for the meantime. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back into talking about your cards with card 15. Reason. Listen to advice, think clearly, intellect. Your mind is powerful and will be used for your soul's highest purpose. Accept excellent advice and see the results this can bring. The curse side of this is fear of accepting advice that seems almost too sensible, a belief that nothing is easy, panicking and being overwhelmed with details and paperwork, feeling you have no one to turn to. Again, I feel like for you guys, there's an issue of this lack mindset of like feeling, oh, nothing is easy, nothing goes my way, I can't have this, I can't have that. And also I feel like there's another person involved here where it's like somebody who's super, for some of you, again, manipulative and dominant, who kind of controls your every movement. And so you feel like they're the only person you can go to for advice, the only person you can rely on. Or conversely, for others of you, you feel like there's nobody you can go to for guidance. So that's why I keep feeling like there's a lot of similarities between your group and the last group. Because again, I was feeling for the last group, there was a very distinct line of two different sides of you guys who are watching the video. And you either fall on one side or you fall on the other side. It's the same case here. Like some of you either are in the situation where you have, again, maybe like a toxic relationship with a masculine who controls your every movement. And again, this is leading you to have a very lack mindset, to be kind of living in your shadow. Your shadow is controlling you because this person brings that out in you. And again, you have to have balance. You have to have both aspects. For others of you, it's like there is a new masculine who's going to come in, who's going to help you, but you have to be willing to accept them in for that guidance. Or this is about you embracing your own divine masculine aspects for that guidance, for that action. So with this card again, time to sit calmly down, clear your mind, then begin to work your way through the details of a dilemma. There is a person about you who is able to advise you. Please ask them for their assistance and listen and act when the good advice is given. Again, all these cards are telling you like there's somebody around you who you can go to for guidance. You just have to, again, ask them. So I feel like no matter what kind of situation you're in, you have to reach out to somebody else. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the Healing Yourself cards. And so we have card 17 with beauty. So recognize your inner and outer beauty. You are beautiful, special, unique, and attractive. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and felt good about what you see? Do you know that your features can literally change based on how you feel about yourself in your life? Your internal experiences are etched on your face and your body. People can feel your energy when you enter a room. When a person who is not thought of as being physically good-looking connects to their own inner light, wisdom, and warmth, the glow that emanates from them from within makes them extremely appealing and attracts people and opportunities towards them. Focus on what you love about yourself and allow yourself to shine. If you are challenged by how you see yourself, this could be a perfect time for an internal and external makeover. So again, for a lot of you, that is a huge message here. It's this disconnect by how, your self-talk. And again, for some of you, it could be stemming by somebody else's, words towards you. But again, you make the decision whether or not to buy into those words and how you talk about yourself in your own mind, in your own heart space. Like, you need to value your own beauty and your own power here, your own intellect as well. So let me go ahead and also show the action in regards to this particular card. If you would like to do it, especially in your shadow work, here it is. And so finally, let's move on to the last two cards we have here with Align Your Universe and the Ascended Masters. I feel like you guys have the potential to become a Ascended Master. So navigate distractions, organize your life. Much like in astrological alignment, the mind, body, and spirit need consistent alignment as we navigate our daily life, social calendars, employment, family, and home life. Challenges to our thoughts and beliefs can shake us to our very core. Our values can be destabilized and altered if we have limited confidence in our direction or focus in life. Again, this is the problem. You guys need to, work on your confidence. That is the underlying thing here. And what has caused you? You need to find out that. What has caused you to have this low self-esteem, this low sense of confidence? What caused that to happen? And then heal that situation. So, without the sanctity of alignment of the spirit, how will you know where you're going in life? Wasn't I talking about that at the very beginning of your reading of like feeling lost, directionless? So yeah, that is definitely coming up for you guys. There are too many distractions or issues all happening at once. We struggle to focus on the important things. What do you feel is a priority or a non-priority in your current circumstances? Right now, you require an alignment in your priorities. Much like the stars contained within the universe, your energy is scattered across time. Distractions and scattered energy are causing lost and missed opportunities for your soul to thrive. Health is also a factor now. Take time to make your health and well-being a priority. Align your chakras and energy centers for stability and clarity and sense of self. You are the center of your universe. You must align your life accordingly. Seek a suitable professional. However, this is not a chance to be selfish for ego or shadow-based reasons. Your soul and spirit need you to take charge of your life now, placing yourself as a priority. You can only do that when you have your energy aligned with clear focus and understanding of where you are right now. Start using a daily or weekly calendar to record your current and future activities and events. When you align yourself to your own universe, you will begin to see positive changes and experiences relating to yourself and others. Energy balancing is a required state of maintaining adequate health. Adjusting the core of your being to a higher vibration allows a ripple effect to shift and integrate new energy through your whole being. So the shadow aspects here are attention-seeking, selfishness. The sacred crystal is natural citrine. The angel assistance is guardian angel Lavia. Lucid dreaming, universal alignment. So, it is safe for me to release the fear of the unknown. I can move forward with energy and enthusiasm. Interesting enough, this is on page 11 as well. Again, I feel like there's so many similarities between you and the previous group. So, if you feel called to watch group 3, I highly encourage you guys to do that for those who feel called to, because there might be additional information there for you. And so now we go on to the next card, card 2. Create open communication with others. Listen objectively. Throughout time, human beings have looked to spiritual teachers, gurus, and philosophers for guidance and wisdom in their everyday lives. Regardless of religious background or affiliation, people gravitate towards those who have achieved levels of ascension on the physical plane. So philosophers, ascended masters, spiritual gurus, and leaders enable those seeking wisdom for higher states of well-being and consciousness to connect to something bigger than themselves in this dimensional experience. While there are many ascended masters across the realm of ascension, they are still on differing levels of ascension. These inner planes assist those seeking wisdom, connecting to specific energies such as the light rays. When working with these frequencies or energies, be sure to always invoke or request the aspects that exist within 100% pure light frequencies. Ascended masters still exist with a dual polarity and still have specific purposes and functions relating to their earthly realm. Right now, you are required to connect to higher wisdom previously shared with a collective purpose. Daily rituals and routine are essential to establishing stability through decision-making processes. Open your mind and vision to signs and symbols from the Ascended Master realm. Many masters are associated with animals and symbols. Pay attention to art and imagery that you may feel emotionally or strongly connected to now, as you are being guided divinely. Be consciously aware that the masters are working behind the scenes in your life to achieve a greater outcome. Karmic planning and your unique energetic blueprint requires certain learning, experiences, and events for you to grow and expand your soul and spirit into a new state of awareness. So, shadow aspects are refusing to be open to new experiences or outcomes. The sacred crystal is Hiddenite. The angel assistance is Archangel Metatron, channeling higher wisdom. I am a clear channel of divine knowledge. I share this wisdom with compassion and confidence. So yes, you guys should definitely seek out to connect to these, higher frequencies, these higher beings of knowledge and wisdom. I also feel like it was really interesting that both of these cards was bringing up the need for daily routine, for daily scheduling, using a calendar so that you can map out your direction. So I feel like that's what it is. It's like for you guys right now, you feel very lost and you're not sure what direction to take. And again, that goes back to not having maybe enough confidence, feeling like, you're prey to the universe or to somebody else's whim. And so by having a daily routine, especially one that involves self-care, self-love, and then, doing something, even if it's small, every single day is going to help you so much. Working on aligning your chakras, meditation, have a daily routine, write it all down and stick to that schedule. And don't let anybody else dictate or interfere with it, because it's going to help you gain back your personal control, your confidence as well. Because when you have to get something done and you get it done, that's going to help you. Maybe the satisfaction of like crossing off something on your to-do list is going to help you in regaining that confidence. I feel like that is the biggest thing here. So with that said, I do hope that this reading resonated for you, that the information helps you with your shadow work and all that stuff. And so please do make sure you leave a like, you comment down below, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification if you do not want to miss any future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day. All right, for those of you who picked Group 5 with the Thulite Stone, we're going to go ahead and start off by laying out all of your cards first and then getting kind of an overview reading of it. And then we'll dive into each card individually. So we have the Chariot here. We also have card 32 with Today for Tomorrow. We also have card 36, Witch. The magic you seek is inside of you. Let it flow. We also have Transmission, Spreading of Conditions, Influence, Impact, card 7. We then have card 30 with Courage, as well as card 3, Astral Travel, Caution Needed, and the final card we have here is card 27, Meditation, Improvements Require Persistence. So it's interesting. Wow, I just noticed this. Because when I saw this card, it made me think of Gemini. It made me think of twins. And literally, we have the same thing right here. So maybe you are a twin. Or maybe this is, or maybe you're the sign of Gemini. Or this is about your duality. Your two different sides of yourself that need to come together. I also really pick up on, in these two cards, it's so much blue and purple. So again, your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown chakra, it's like these higher octaves, these higher vibrations coming through. I feel like you need to embrace who you are. You need to, maybe it's not so much embrace who you are, but embrace your own power, your own magic. You need to have courage to go out into the world alone, I feel like. Maybe this is a message of not being so dependent on maybe another, But let's go ahead and dive more specifically into each individual message here to get more clarity about the situation. So far, it's like the first two piles of this group were like so clear about the message, and these other groups, there's more mystery about them. There's more minute sort of situations. But let's just go ahead and see what comes up for the messages here. So we got out of all the piles here, we have the first one, you guys, with a major arcana as your tarot card. So I definitely feel like that is an important thing here. So this is from the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, and so it's referring to the wild hunt. You know, in the darkness of night, a terrifying howl rips through the storm-laden sky. A savage phantom army of hideous horses and wild dogs hunt down the damned and carry bad omens for those who dare to spy. Their ruthlessness displays no mercy as their unearthly wails foreshadow death. The volatile sky contrasts with the placid, snow-covered valleys below. This signifies the polarities between life and death, light and shadow, and the conscious and unconscious. So again, that's what so much of your reading is all about. I was already saying that. This is about polarities. You need to balance your polarities. I almost feel like it's like your shadow aspects, it's not something super extreme. Neither are your light side. It's like, but there's disconnect between the two. I also feel like it was interesting that this brought up spying. I feel like for some of you, this is about a message of not being sort of a spy. Don't be a gossiper. Don't kind of try to, I'm going to just say like two-faced. Don't be two-faced about things. Like having a certain persona that you appear in around certain people, and then a completely different persona around other people. It's like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, let me rephrase that. There's nothing wrong with either face that you're showing, but having that disconnect between the two is going to lead to more issues than you realize. Because it's like, I'm just getting the situation where it's like you're one way with one group of people and then a completely different way with one group of people. And then somehow a member from each group like meets up and they're like, oh yeah, you know this person too. And it's like, oh, this is how she is with us, or he or she is with us. And then they're like, what, really? Because they're like this with us. And that's going to seed doubt. People will doubt your authenticity with them. They will not trust you. That is what this is about. It's like you need to finally merge those two halves of yourself. It's like you have a very clear idea of who these two halves are, but there's issue with trying to have them come together, I feel like is the message here. So anyway, with this card, this is talking about, this is the time to take action, embrace challenges with an air of calm control. You can determine your destiny by recognizing the dark that lurks beyond the horizon and take steps to ensure a successful journey through uncertainty. So again, you need to realize these aspects, these different sides of yourself. I almost feel like, it just made me think of that movie, I want to say it's called Doppelganger, but it has, why am I forgetting her name right now? Oh, it's going to bug me so much. But I absolutely love that movie. And yes, it's about her being like a doppelganger. It's a really good movie. I like it a lot. I just can't remember who's in it. Oh, okay. Wait, I have to stop for a second because I have to look up this movie to tell you guys. Okay, guys, I looked up the movie. It is called Doppelganger. It's from 1993 and it has Drew Barrymore in it. That's who I was forgetting. That movie, for some reason, that is coming to mind. I highly encourage you guys to watch that movie. Maybe for some of you, if that resonates, that idea of a doppelganger, being a doppelganger yourself. Maybe even like the other thing that's coming to mind now is like Vampire Diaries, because there's like a doppelganger situation in that. So I feel like that's an energy here. So speaking about that, let's go ahead and talk about this card 32 here with Today for Tomorrow from the Dark Mirror Oracle. And so these are very good cards in regards to shadow work, as well as, it reflects different stages of the grieving process. And the other thing I will say is that sometimes it definitely seems like the English translation here in the book is a little off sometimes, but regardless, let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is representing the full moon phase, and this is the stage of acceptance. So hope is in the present. It is the brick we use to build the future on. I want it some, I want it later, gently. It may seem like a trade-off to sacrifice the present in order to secure a better future. That's what ants do. Or to sacrifice the future to enjoy a better present. Cicadas do this. Either choice holds a bitter taste. It's like watching a child play. Shouldn't she study? And if she were studying, wouldn't she regret not playing more? You meet a person you are attracted to. Do you go past and let it stay in the fantasy, or you make the move and follow it through to the ephemeral ending? The endless choice between regret and remorse. What if, for once, we turn our back to the dark? We do the unexpected and we shed it like an used dress. We can walk by the sea as no one is around, and we skinny dip out of our worries. The present and the future are one single integrated connection. There is no choice because the road is only one. What we are today and what we are tomorrow may be different, but it is the same person. So again, I'm feeling this message of, it's conflicting. It's like, especially that example of like, oh, if a child is playing, oh, well, shouldn't they be studying? But then if they're studying, aren't they going to regret not playing in that moment? So I feel like you guys have a lot of that to work through, like the regret of, and the worry about, oh, if I'm doing this right now, if I'm acting like this person, am I going to regret not going after this and being this person in this moment? It's like maybe a message of stop worrying about. It's weird. It's like there's a worry about the present, but there's also a worry about the future. And it's like you need to find a way to balance the two. It's like you can't be, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a sense of a lot of worry here in this particular group. So let's go ahead and also talk about the Witch now, card 36, and see what it has to say. The magic you seek is inside you. Let it flow. This is a lucky card. When this card is drawn, a bonus appears in your life, and the key events and situations turn in your favor. Remember, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. Have you taken all available steps and made all authentic efforts to be prepared for that which you seek? The witch holds her hands gently over the crescent moon, a potent symbol of new opportunities and fresh potential. Her cupping fingers allow energy to flow unhindered. The raven sits upon a branch, pausing in its journey from the underworld to consider new adventures. Leaves of gold emerge from the branches. They signify comfort and beauty after periods of absence and loss. The witch knows herself and is not afraid of her potential and opportunities to grow and learn. In the moonlight, she willingly steps to the edge of the cliff and leaps, knowing that the natural way of the world will catch her, and she will land exactly where she should. This is very much like the Fool card energy. And so here is the ritual to do in regards to this card. It has 2 pages. So here's the first part. And then here's the second part. So this might be very useful for you guys to do in regards to your shadow work and working through this. This is about being fully awakened to your potential and your cycles. And so maybe that's a part of it, a part of merging these 2 aspects of yourself. It's like, it's a cycle. Sometimes you're in this state and sometimes you're in this state. And that's your natural way of being. So maybe you're fighting against it, or maybe you're worried about maybe how other people will view you. Maybe you're worried about other people not viewing you as authentic when this is your authentic self. So let's also go ahead and talk about the transmission card here, card 7. And so with these particular cards, there is a blessing side and a curse side, and I'll be reading both for you guys. So you will have someone to travel with on the journey you are undertaking. There will be friendship, laughter, and the sharing of the experience. On the curse side, it says, feeling guilty for someone wanting to come with you. It is their choice and their soul's journey. Do not deny them the gift of your company simply because the road you share is tough. So surround yourself with people and ideas that you wish to be influenced by. Create an amazing support network. again, I feel like this is, you desire a lot of companionship or connection, maybe specifically a deep connection with somebody. And this isn't necessarily romantic, but somebody who completely understands you, who mirrors you. That is what you're looking for. You're looking for a twin flame, a twin soul of sorts. And so you understand that you have the magic to call them in. And even if your road is tough, if it's difficult, you don't have to do it all alone. That might be a part of your challenge, is you try to take on everything on your own, like a lone warrior. But really, in this life, you're meant to be in a partnership. And so you need to have the courage to welcome that in. And speaking about courage, let's go ahead and talk about the courage card here, which is from the Healing Yourself Oracle. And let's see what it has to say. So with this courage card, courage requires you to fearlessly stride ahead despite the challenges you are experiencing. That's what I'm getting off this Chariot card too, with that image. Whether you are afraid of success or failure, you cannot stay where you are. It's so many of your cards are talking about travel, about movement. It's like the state you're in, if you stay in the spot that you're in, whether it's physically or spiritually speaking or mentally, whatever it may be, your shadow is you're never going to be able to integrate your shadow. You're never going to be able to heal it if you keep stuck in the space that you're in. You need to allow for flow, for movement. You need to follow that. You need to make a decision and move forward with belief, trust, and boldness. Give it your all, no matter the outcome. Despite what you've been telling yourself, you're ready for a new adventure and another chance to prove that you have what it takes to face life's challenges. Stop investing in limitations, lack, and dysfunction. Every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing. You are ready to explore both. Whilst there may be difficult moments ahead, keep positive and believe that everything is going to work out for your absolute best. You are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are and to stand strong for your convictions. Exactly. This is all about you taking action and standing strong in who you are and taking that adventure. And so here is the specific action in regards to this card. Again, another thing to use in your shadow work. All right, and then finally, let's move into your last two cards here with astral travel. I just realized that astral travel again. So maybe it's not even physical movement, but spiritually you are moving. Maybe this is a gift of yours. But again, we have the message of caution needed with it. So let's see what that has to say. Caution needed. Observe your surroundings. Astral travel can be described as a willful out-of-body experience, allowing a person to observe their physical surroundings. Entering the gateway to the astral plane or astral realm with intention is a careful practice that must be aligned with intention, clarity, and soul purpose. A sacred portal is to hidden realms. Accessing the astral body allows you to travel and experience different realms of consciousness and universal experiences. Clairvoyance, psychic abilities, and spirit communication will all require astral realm connections. The Akashic records exist within this realm and are guided by sacred light keepers. With an astral travel, it is recommended to have a travel buddy with you, such as Ascended Master or Archangel, for added spiritual safety. Oh my God, that is so crazy, because that's what all this imagery is right here. You have, if this isn't a physical person in your environment, this is definitely a very strong and significant spirit guide or angel that is connected to you, who's here to help you. They're holding your hand, and you just need to, again, stay strong and keep following through with your action and your travel. So, primarily, an astral experience allows individuals to be an observer, a witness to surroundings such as environments, past events, people, or our own forgotten experiences, including these long before our physical sense of visual or memory recall. Returning from an astral experience can leave everlasting impressions on your waking life, or it can leave you physically out of balance. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe you guys are kind of astral traveling without knowing it, and it's leaving you unbalanced. And that's part of what's causing your shadow to be kind of like shaken and pulled into the light before it's in an uncomfortable state, because it's through your astral travel you might be experiencing memories of past lives or things that you repressed, and it's coming up and it's just making you feel very confused. And so you need to stay persistent. You need to be aware of this, and you need to meditate and work on it, because once you gain control over it, you can gain control over a lot of other aspects as well. So while the soul is still tethered to your physical body via an invisible energetic silver cord, anchoring the soul back into your physical body often requires a physical reset through spiritual or holistic practices. Astral information experiences are affected by fear-based thoughts and energy frequencies. Keep your vibration high and alert your senses to any unwanted energetic connections that can influence you in a negative and spiritually abusive way. Right now, you are being asked to keep your spiritual radio tuned to listen for unwanted interference. Observe your surroundings and be aware of manipulation by others through psychic energy, speech, and planned social meetings. Caution is required in all areas of communication. Keep sensitive information confidential. Don't overshare. So the shadow aspects here is demonstrated lack of understanding and awareness of personal experience. The sacred crystal here is labradorite, which that is pretty crazy, because that is actually one of the stones that I had on one of the other piles here. So you guys might actually want to listen to the labradorite pile as well. That might hold some additional information for you guys. The angel assistance here is, oh my God, it's Archangel Michael, spiritual protection and safe travel. So I am divinely protected. My soul is safe to explore my path with ease and grace. So you guys might be very connected to Archangel Michael. That might be somebody who you can call on to help you in this process. So finally, we have card 27 over here with meditation. And so, improvements require persistence. Create goals with intention. So this is all about your intentions, because again, you could be a very strong, have very strong magical abilities and be a very strong manifester. So the intentions and the thoughts that you set out there really create your reality. So meditation is an important aspect of spiritual practice, proven to relieve mental stress, physical pain, and improve a person's outlook on life. Meditation is not bound to religion, culture, or spiritual groups. Anyone can practice meditation, and everyone can receive its benefits. So used in practice for thousands of years, meditation is often associated with spiritual understanding and alignment by achieving direct communication with a supreme being or ultimate reality. For example, the enlightenment that Buddha received underneath the tree that he sat under. So using concentrated focus upon the breath, sounds, visualizations, objects, or movement meditation can enhance relaxation, strengthen the mind, and instigate spiritual growth and self-awareness. These different meditative practices can be simple in nature or emotionally groundbreaking, dependent upon your needs and intentions for this practice. So you may be feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed now. Poor sleep patterns or insomnia are triggered by technology use and require you to detach from the materialism and wants of today. Respiratory issues may arise now. Please see a suitable professional if you require attention. Right now, meditation holds the answer. Focus on your breath, reconnect back to self, where you will have more time and energy for the areas in your life that have been neglected. A form of meditation is required now for you to feel whole once again. Be aware that your mind reflects your physical world. It is balanced or imbalanced, busy or still, chaotic or calm, noisy or quiet. Physiological and psychological change is taking place. Use meditation to assist in healing, health, and well-being goals. Specifically, to set intentions, aid physical recovery, and influence mind mantras. Importantly, now is the time to focus on your personal health and well-being. The shadow aspects here are chaotic, dismissive, emotional detachment. The sacred crystal here is fluorite. And so the archangel that is associated with this one is Archangel Cassiel, serenity, solitude, and temperance. So my mind creates a reflection of my physical world. I am at peace. So again, my mind creates my physical world. So you guys are a group where your thoughts and your feelings really shape your reality. And so again, if your shadow is imbalanced with your light aspect and is causing you stress or insomnia or something along those lines, it's going to, appear in your physical world. So let me go ahead and take a sip of water while I look these over one more time. Yeah, I don't feel like you guys are a group where your shadow has a particularly strong, it's not particularly like crazy out of balance, but there's just like a little adjustment is, needed to be made to, help. Again, improvements require persistence. This is for you guys, it's like you have these polarities and they're constantly like going like this. And so it takes constant, persistent work for you guys to keep them, steady. So again, you guys are kind of a group where it can get, if you slack off on the work that you need to do to keep these polarities balanced, it can go like this. All right, so keep that in mind as you move forward with your shadow work here. So I hope that this reading resonated for you guys and that it made sense. And so if you did like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you do not miss any future videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, for group 6, my final group here, let's go ahead and jump into your cards. And so I'm going to actually start off by laying out all of your cards first and kind of getting a read off them. And then we'll delve into each individual card on their own. So you guys are an interesting group because you actually got 2 tarot cards. So we have the Queen of Wands. Ooh, focus. Focus. Is it going to focus? So we have the Queen of Wands here. We also have the 5 of Cups. So that's a big one right there. We then have card 29, Anger and Chains. We also have card 1, Triumph of Lives. We also have Epiphany with card 6, Reveal Your Gifts. Wow. We also have card 29, Witness, to know, personal evidence, to speak out. We have card 13 with Rejection. And finally, we have the card of 15, Eternal Union, new love is forming. So honestly, laying out these cards, one of the biggest messages that was coming through to me is stop lying to yourself. Like seriously, that is the big thing. It's like if there's something that you don't like, you witness something that you feel is wrong, it goes against what you morally feel, your integrity, it's like you need to speak out and speak your truth and stop the lie. If you don't like how you feel about something, if you don't like the kind of relationship you're in, it's like you need to speak out about it. It's so interesting because this image is so similar to the image for the love card, which actually came up for one of the piles in this reading, this whole video. And because again, she's holding that green gem. So again, I feel like maybe you've experienced a lot of that. You've experienced some heartbreak, some loss, and really the ultimate thing you want is, this eternal union over here, this deep connection. But again, I feel like there's a lot of underlying anger behind some situation that you did not like at all. And also it's like the message here of like stop lying to yourself is also stop lying about your gifts. You need to reveal your gifts. You need to, again, speak out. So because you have a lot of passion, a lot of creativity, like a very strong magnetic energy about you with something like the Queen of Wands here. Again, people desire the Queen of Wands. She is, you know, whether like physically desirable or it's her energy or her talents or whatever, like that comes through. So let's go ahead and talk about those more in depth. So speaking about the Queen of Wands, so she is the White Lady, and this is from the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. These lovely, you know, ghosts dance near moonlight ravines, bridges, and other narrow passageways. If the passer-by acted kindly, he would be treated well. But if he was rude, he risked punishment. White ladies could be helpful to travelers, women in childbirth, and minors. The transparency of the dress suggests a deeper connection with the non-material world. The presence of all the elements, water, earth, air, and fire, indicates the limitless possibilities. So this is be open to the female influences in your midst. Social opportunities may present themselves to you. So again, this is, it's so interesting because I feel like there's a deep contrast right here. I feel like this is also a message to be more open to your feminine polarity, your divine feminine aspects, whether you're male or female. Like, you need to integrate that and connect to that energy. So let's talk about the Five of Cups here as well. So the Five of Cups, Liba and Guntram. I'll go ahead and bring this up to the screen so you guys can see it. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So let me go ahead and talk about this. In the legend, so, you know, it was a young Liba who was engaged to a handsome knight, and, you know, the knight was forced to leave town on business, and he promised to return to wed. On the way home, he got lost and took shelter in a castle where he was seduced into a betrothal by the castle's owner's daughter. After she had slipped a ring on his finger, she revealed her true form as a corpse. Ooh, so this is kind of like Corpse Bride, almost, in a sense. The corpse's icy stare is void of emotion. The mist of her garment attach her to the underworld and ensure Guntram's soul in her deathly grasp. You know, be careful not to get entangled in situations that you will regret later. If you do fall victim to folly, find a way to get back on track. Very interesting. I feel like for some of you, a lot of where your shadow is coming from currently, again, for just some of you, you might have been in a very strong relationship with somebody to the point where it's like you guys were going to get married, and then, you know, this person betrayed you, or the marriage fell through, and that has left you feeling very, again, angry and bitter about it because it was a deep rejection. For some of you, that might resonate. This also might be just a message of, you know, not being entangled into situations you will regret later. So, you know, not falling victim, finding a way to get back on track, finding a way to get back to your personal power here. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and also talk now about the Anger in Chains card here. This is from the Dark Mirror Oracle, which is very much about, you know, shadow work. It's also reflective of the different stages of grief. So let's see what the anger card has to do with. Clearly, it's the stage of anger, and it's talking about the waning crescent moon phase. Force channeled outside, unreasonable, undirected, but powerful. I've got to break free. I want to be free. Anger is not the road to clarity. It's not a controlled effort or a cold dish. It's raw, primal, explosive. It's the loss of reason and the loss of restraint. A bomb turning bright in black color. A wax seal carefully crafted to be immunely broken. But anger is also freedom. How can you break a single thread woven with a million others? How can you unfetter yourself from a bad situation, letting all the rest unchanged? It doesn't work like that. When you need to break free, you need to shake and shout. And the more things will be broken than just what you want to hurt. They are like a bundle. You can target, but you cannot choose. Break many to break one. Save one to save many. So again, I feel like this is a message for a lot of you. You guys get sort of sucked into situations that are not good for you. And again, that's stemming. You need to ask yourself, why do you keep going into these situations? And that's going to help you pinpoint what your shadow's issue is and help you to integrate that and heal it by figuring out the why. Again, I can't, and again, the cards aren't going to perfectly answer that question of your personal why, because again, this is a general reading, so you guys need to do that work, but this gives you kind of a roadmap of what it is. So if you feel a very strong sense of anger about something, about a certain situation that you keep getting involved in, find out the why. Why do you keep getting in this situation? What is causing the anger specifically? And, again, what this is talking about, it's like with anger, it's like you can't keep the anger bottled up. You need to let it loose and just kind of accept the fact that if you're going to release the anger, everything around you can get affected by it. But that's just kind of the state of what is happening. There's chains around you that need to be broken too. So again, I feel like for some of you, this could be reflective of a bad relationship, even a bad marriage, or something that happened in the past that is related to that, and you're still holding on to those chains. So let's also go ahead and move on and talk about card 1 here with the Triumph of Lies. So this is talking about the stage of bargain. This is the waxing gibbous moon. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. So not all the glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. So again, feeling like you're in a lack situation, like it's no longer fulfilling you probably. You need to stop lying to yourself about it. The Triumph of Lies is about appearance, and appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? We seek to be what the world outside desires, and not necessarily society at large. Our family, our partners, our friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, and values to live by. It offers stability to oneself and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring, too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not as straightforward as it seems. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes an habit. It gnaws at us, it hurts us from the inside. It feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It's just a lie we have made habit to believe in. When our lives become a gilded cage and our dress become a burden, we should remember that we were born naked. Wow. Again, I feel like this is what this is all about. It's like, if you don't like the situation you're in or the expectations that you've allowed to be placed on you by others, it's like, stop lying to yourself about it and just allow yourself to be angry about it. It's like, get out of that situation, reject it. Even if the other people around you are going to end up rejecting you because you don't want to be that way, you don't want to lie about who you are anymore, it's like, too bad. You just got to be you. And so let's talk about this Epiphany card over here with card 6, reveal your gifts. This is a huge part of that message. The girl of Epiphany is caught enjoying the sweet scent of her own success, but now it's time to share the success with the world. Have you been keeping something from others, or something that would surprise and delight them? The world wants what you have to share. So maybe that's a message. Maybe you feel it's like you can't express something because you think people are going to have like a harsh judgment about it, but really it's like the fact that you're keeping it all to yourself without giving other people a chance to view it, it's like you don't know how they're going to react. They might actually be very pleased about it. They might be like, finally, you're doing this. You're expressing yourself. It's all about taking a risk, I feel like. The world wants what you have to share. Awaken to your hidden talent. You are more than enough. There are hidden gifts, a new skill, a new passion bubbling up, ready to pour out of you at this time, just as the gold pours out of the girl of Epiphany's arm. What is a deep goal? Something you may have considered impossible. It's your duty to unveil and release this potential inside you. The time to act is now. The universe will conspire in your favor if you take action now. And so here is the ritual to do in regards to this particular card that might be useful here in your shadow work and to embracing your gifts. To stop the lie that I feel like a lot of you who picked this are kind of living. And so let's go ahead and move on to the witness card here. To know, personal evidence, to speak out. So with these particular cards, there is a blessing side as well as a curse side. And I'm going to read both of those because they might, resonate for you in different ways. So the veils of illusion and deceit have lifted. While this can be painful, it's also a great blessing to know the truth. Do not doubt your experience. It can be tempting on the curse side. It can be tempting to protest against being lied to or hurt. Know that the road you're on will take you to many places, and this step on the journey was necessary for you to take the next steps wiser. You are now free. There is no curse with this card at all. So there's a positive message right there. Know that what you have seen and felt is true. Another may deny that you have witnessed a true thing. Maybe this is also a part, like I'm getting the sense of when people witness crazy spiritual things, whether it was like a ghost, something unexplainable, a UFO, it's like there's a lot of time people can be very scared of speaking out and talking about it because other people are going to, deny that you've actually witnessed that, to make you feel like you're crazy or you're out of your mind because you're talking about this stuff. It's like, no, if you've experienced this, then you need to own it and, give the big middle finger to anybody who's trying to doubt you in that sense. So, but having seen and now knowing, you have a duty to never again lie to yourself. You need to not make this truth your entire life. But never again lie to yourself. Accept the evidence of your experience and honor it within your heart and within your words when wisdom demands you to speak freely. There are some who would betray your confidence. Others will share your experience and become your kin when you share wisely. So again, you guys need to speak out about your experiences because it's going to help to draw in your soul tribe here, your eternal union. Reveal your gifts. Express who you truly are. So the next card we have here, of course, is card 13 with rejection. So this might be something you guys fear a lot when it comes to this. So use rejection to grow, expand, and build yourself. Feeling rejected can disconnect you from your heart and soul and immobilize you. Rather than buying into rejection, focus on how you can grow, learn, and improve from your experiences. If you are a writer and you sent your articles or a book to a publisher and they have rejected it, then try to hone your writing skills and then send your work out to several other publishers. Use that rejection as a motivating force to succeed. If a person that you have feelings for or felt a deep love towards has rejected you, then work on healing your heart and recognizing that there's someone out there who is more suited to you. Many people use rejection as an excuse to close down, become suspicious, guarded, and give up. When they hurt and reject others, then they were hurt and reject others. They hide behind rejection and never give themselves an opportunity to take a leap of faith and find their life calling and heal. By picking this card, you are being urged to hold yourself in a higher regard. Keep your heart open and trust that you have learned from your experiences and will not make the same mistake again. So here is the action in regards to this particular card. Again, might be useful for you in your shadow work here, especially if you feel like this resonates a lot, that you've dealt with a lot of rejection, whether that's in love, in career, however it may be. It's like it's something for you to overcome and learn from. And finally, we have card 15 with Eternal Union. And so this is talking about a new love is forming, strengthen your relationships. In a lifetime, we are destined to meet many members of our soul group and soul family. Many of them enter through life as a soulmate, fated to teach us lessons about unconditional love and ourselves. A soulmate can be a friend, family member, work colleague, partner, neighbor, or someone you strongly disagree with, clashing with every time you are around each other. When a soulmate enters your life, they offer your soul support, guidance, and growth, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually. You may feel you have known them forever, or you may be instantaneously comfortable in their presence. Dependent upon what your soul needs, a soulmate may be a brief encounter, or this relationship could last a lifetime. Acting as a catalyst for growth, these souls are here to teach you something new. Currently, meeting new people will bring great conversations. Interesting people will enter your life now to teach you something valuable about yourself and your interests or passions in life. Social gatherings and casual meetups will create opportunities for meaningful connections. Right now, you're being encouraged to actively listen to others. For those who you despise or see as enemies, view these people as possible soul connections. They are there to teach you life lessons and challenge your structured belief systems. This new understanding will deepen the love you have for others, including new and existing partnerships, opening doors for expression of eternal union. This living expression of love will influence romantic connections, including marriage with long-term commitments possible now. The expression of eternal union between two souls will bring new levels of love on an emotional, physical, mental, spiritual connection. True love is limitless. So the shadow aspects here is introversion, restlessness, disfranchised. The sacred crystal here is emerald, and look at that. We have this like really green bottle or possibly gem right there. So yeah, you guys should definitely be working with emerald. And so the angel assistance here is Archangel Haniel, attracting meaningful relationships. I am a living and loving expression of the eternal union. I am blessed. So there you guys go. I mean, yeah, don't let rejection from the past stop you from reaching for new relationships and new experiences. Again, probably those rejections, that bad situation you may have experienced in the past was with somebody who is a part of your soul family. And again, they were there to be that challenger, that, you know, to teach you something along those lines. So again, I feel like your biggest message here is to speak up and stop lying to yourself and express who you truly are, no matter what anybody else says, because you have so many hidden gifts. And by integrating with your shadow and stopping living in this state of, you know, anger and rejection and like in the lies, you'll be able to unify everything and again connect and find your soul family here. So I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please do leave a like on this video, comment down below, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification if you do not want to miss any future videos. And I truly hope that the information here has helped you guys in some way to get some clarity about what direction to go in with your shadow work. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a beautiful day.